Are we? Oh,
That was a very bad countdown. I don't know.
It's the best countdown.
can we get a redo? Can we do a redo? Play the opening again.
4,
What is this?
Are we live right now?
3,
Yeah, we are.
3, 2, 1.
This is
We're live
embarrassing.
right now. Nah.
Are we live?
So,
Okay.
thanks
Hey,
everyone
gamers.
for tuning in. Hopefully the people here are not just my own party members, but hopefully a lot of other people are here as well.
Hey, I got a bird.
You do have a bird. So, a couple fun, exciting things. As you can see, we have a slightly new setup.
He's got tentacles.
Courtesy of the amazing program Reroll. It is an app. It's free to use. You can make all sorts of pixel avatars of D&D characters, whatever kind of characters, really. And if you get the full version, you can import actual character sheets and use it to track all of your character stuff in. They have graciously let us use their wonderful pixel art to provide references for our wonderful player characters here. So you'll see those on your screen in their beautiful pixel fashion. Some freaking amazing stuff. So go check out their website, go check out their app. You'll see them plugged every once in a while in the chat, so keep an eye out. Absolutely worth it. I've used that app far too many times, far too long.
Look, if you don't promote Squarespace, you're not a real content creator, says Sam Lyle.
Oh god, no. What's the
NordVPN.
NordVPN.
Yeah.
This is sponsored by HelloFresh. If you need
This
groceries,
episode is what is the Raid Shadow Legends?
Oh my god, please no.
or that one weird manscaping one that is promoted
Oh,
on
yeah, yeah,
NAPOD
yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Can't remember
Yo,
what it is.
manscaping, very important.
It is very important.
Or Jake Hurwitz's beard oil.
I need to invest. Any hoozle.
You heard the good
True.
word from Dollar Shave Club.
So
That's
We're
another win.
alienating so many potential
we're gonna get in trouble. So yeah, check out Reroll. If you like our new setup, let us know. We've got all sorts of tinkering I still want to do with it. But as of right now, I am enjoying the flexibility with it. Hopefully in the future, depending on what we can finagle, it'd be fun to get some like NPC avatars up there for important people to interact with and all that kind of good stuff. Brought to you by Audible, yes. Sign up now, you get a free book. Some more news stuff. It is October, it is the spooky Halloween month. If you need any kind of scary, spooky, eerie Halloween one-shots to run with you and your friends, head on over to DM's Guild and check out my new one-shot, the Songs and Spirits Inn. It will fit all your spooky Halloween needs and just be a roundabout good time. You'll also see some reminders of that in the chat as well. I don't know if any of you guys test played it, but what else is there? Loyalty stuff. If you go to my Twitch channel and look at one of my panels, you will notice that we have a few more loyalty options to use your tings with. The more you watch and the more you are active in the chat, the more tings you earn. And tings can be used to redeem to influence our campaign, influence the story we are telling, and that way you can play a part in it as well. Right now we have 3 options. For 300 tings, you can inspire one of the party members, and you can either choose who you want to inspire, or I will just choose at random. Essentially, inspiration from the gods. The next one, which I am personally excited for, is a flashback. If you can spend 650 tings for a flashback, and whatever player character is active in that scene at that moment, or if none of them are, I'll just choose, or you can choose. They get to narrate a memory of whatever's going on in that scene. Whatever they are doing, something about it has jogged loose some memory in their mind, and we get a flashback. It's going to be very anime, it's going to be very dramatic, it's going to be so much fun. So if you really want to put everyone on the spot, make them have a flashback. But also, it's going to give them, and all of us, a chance to explore their characters more, learn more about them, things that they've experienced, even just small things. So I'm super pumped about that. And then finally, as it's always been, but the price is going up because the more things we get, the harder I want it to be, is the something happens. With 1,000 tings, you can make something happen, and I will roll on a random table, and a bunch of random shit's gonna happen. A monster comes in, something catches on fire, somebody has to use the bathroom, all sorts of stuff. In past times, something happens was used to buck a hippogriff rider off, and they had to catch them before they fell to their death and subdue the hippogriff. At the same time, to keep one of our player characters from falling, they used a something happens to be caught by a halfling family on a sky coach. It was very nice.
And I got one of their numbers.
And you got one of their numbers. And the most recent something happens. I'll start passing it over to the player characters at this point. Is there someone who would like to lead a recap for us?
I did it
just work
last
here.
time.
Okay, I can do the recap, but I will get a point of inspiration to use at some point.
Hold on. I can do it.
Go ahead.
Oh
Hold
no,
on, hold
Logan's
on.
gonna be like,
Okay, so just remind me what was the first thing that happened last time, and then I can go from there in my notes.
You met Donovan, who was being accosted by some mercenaries.
Yes, we met our good new ally and frontier, Donovan, a tiefling reporter who had tracked down the hot lead on the new investigators in town, the as of yet still unnamed, and
I'm working on it.
yeah. And we met him in a portion of the city which is frequented by mercenaries, and several of them accosted him and just roughing him up for being in their turf, which turned into a fairly violent alteration in which several were burned and gunned down. But in front of a Sharn watchman, no less. But apparently to no negative effect. And then we joined Donovan, went in to question Barden Finch, the driver of the carriage edge of Katarine Orion, who had died sometime in between her lunch with who is the other guy's name?
Notes.
Yes, I have so many notes. It's her lunch with the other guy, and he had survived. We went in, talked with him, determined that possibly there was some residual magic used to sedate or pacify him. He didn't remember a whole lot.
Ting Fei.
Ting Fei de Leondar, correct. Right. And in the midst of this, our dear Wendelin went to track down a possible lead out of the window, and in the course of this, has got herself into a little digestive distress as from some street food.
Hey, this isn't even a shit happens. She just straight up ate.
Yeah. Yes. To which caused is enough of a ruckus that the rest of us descended from the window to follow a scream, which we found out was just because Wendelin was trying to take care of that situation, and basically in the mouth of an alley in a heavily populated area, and had attracted the attention of a mother and her child. And in this time, I believe Oleg went back to Barden Finch and decided to investigate his briefcase that had been left in the room, which turned out to be a bomb, which blew up dealing a significant amount of damage to both of them, but apparently they're not yet, to the rest of the party's knowledge, are still alive. And that's where we left off.
All right.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Oh, some of the things on the stream are black.
Yeah, everybody but me and Travis disappeared on the
Oh.
stream.
Craft again.
Ooh. Jesus. Don't know what just happened, but I think we're all fixed now. Everyone looks like they're in the right places. I think we're good, fellow gamers.
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 So yes, Carson, Varian, you get a point of inspiration for the recap.
Hey.
Yes. So now.
Happy Halloween, gamers.
So.
Okay, it's time to be serious.
Yes, that's what we're known for here on the Monday night ever on stream.
People are
Serious
dying.
roleplay.
Oleg is dead, you guys. Come on, take this seriously.
Not dead.
We don't know
So-
that yet.
Oleg does not believe in death.
You are in the Death's Gate district of Middle Tabix Landing. The Death's Gate district, home to the Death's Gate Guild, just a guild of mercenaries and brutes who will do anything to get a job done. However, the district is also home to the City of the Dead, a large grave and cemetery. It's also home to the Guild of Starlight and Shadows, an arcane guild of illusions and trickery. This is where the supposed murder of Katarine Orion happened. Barden Finch was ushered over to a Jarasco healing house to receive treatment and be cured of his strange poison that had afflicted him. As Wendelin, Spike, Donovan, and Varian were over in an alleyway tending to some events, shrouded in magical darkness, thank you to
Business.
Wendelin, Oleg returned back to continue investigating and speaking to Barden Finch. While you guys, the four of you, are in the alleyway, shrouded by magical darkness, tripping over bags of trash, I believe, Donovan, you said you had grabbed Spike and Varian, under the arms to try and, lead them through.
Yes.
Trying to find where Wendelin went. And then you heard a that shook the ground. Spike, I need you to make, let me double check, to make a charisma saving throw. Oh no, excuse me, an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, can we go back to charisma?
We cannot go back to charisma.
Okay.
Oof.
Well, it's not a bad roll. It's a 17.
Okay. You hear this shaking explosion, and your vision changes. You're not in darkness anymore. Now it's almost like you're looking at an illusion, a picture, something. And a diagram flashes in your eyes of some kind of metal disc with gems in it, and it's like a diagram of it being put together, and almost in a film reel style. It starts to change, and you start hearing some sounds over it, and you hear the voice of Romulus speaking. However, it's not speaking to you as he has before. Speaking to you almost like a teacher or a superior. And he says, "Alright, so today we're going to be talking about artillery on the battlefield. We've had some developments in House Kenneth in the fields of artillery. One thing that they have come to invent that has proven to be quite formidable on the battlefield is something called a blast disc. Does anyone know what a blast disc is called?" And you hear a few murmurings and mumblings. And it says, it's some military-grade magical devices. It essentially functions like an explosive. However, it can also be used to store magical spells. And you watch, like, in your vision, the slides change in a way to show all the different varieties of whatever a blast disc is. It says, sometimes they explode in just a bunch of shrapnel and fire. Other times it's gases, whether that's non-harming and just blocking vision, or also sometimes poisonous gases. Other times it's lightning. It starts going through all the different types. And part of you, this is a memory, and then also part of it, this learning it for the first time. The other three of you, Donovan, as you're leading Spike, you feel him just freeze up and stand perfectly still.
Come on, friend. Can't be standing around here. And I keep like pulling him. I'm not very strong, so I'm gonna try, but like.
Yeah. So Spike, in this sort of vision, you can hear Donovan, but it's like you're sitting in a classroom and the kid behind you is just talking quietly, and so you kind of hear what he's saying, but it's more just annoying than anything. And then you start feeling like this person, like, kicking the back of your chair and, like, bumping up against you and stuff. But you can't move. Like, you're sitting so perfectly still, but you're getting so annoyed.
Can I talk?
Sure.
No. Okay, I say, listen, friend. Stop kicking my chair. You kick it one more time and you ain't gonna have a leg to kick with. Alright?
So you hear Spike say this, but he's still not moving.
I will use thaumaturgy to make my voice a little bit louder, because that's a thing I have as the tiefling subrace I am.
Is Spike
And I will go.
Is Spike experiencing a real tutorial? Like,
I mean, PTSD is kind of like that, I suppose.
Oh no, Rachel has so many tings. Anyway, I'll use thaumaturgy to make a voice louder. Make my voice louder and go. Out of it.
So, Spike, if you'll make another intelligence saving throw with advantage.
Oh, okay. 19.
19. This voice booms out from behind you, and all the diagrams in your vision fade away, and you're just shrouded in magical darkness, linking arms with Donovan.
And I keep pulling like, all right, come on, friend, let's get out of here. I keep pulling Varian and Spike out.
And then I just like go with you.
Okay, so you pull them out.
There's
of
no
the
time for
darkness.
daydreaming.
So Wendelin, you too heard this loud explosion down the way, but you are preoccupied, I guess we'll say. So what do you do in the meantime?
Have I finished cleaning myself up?
Yeah, we'll say, like, you can kind of hear them talking in the darkness, and it buys you enough time to get yourself cleaned up.
Okay. Shoot. Because I was following that lead.
Those magical baby wipes are a lifesaver.
Oh, do we have a sponsor for that?
Magical baby wipes.
This episode is brought to you by Huggies, making baby wipes and cleaning up your poo-poo buttholes for years.
I am going to trust my party and head down the alley where that hot dog guy said to go.
Okay.
You really trusted the hot dog guy?
Oleg.
Uh-huh.
This explosion just occurred, nearly blinding, deafening you. You threw yourself over Bard and Finch. The room is on fire. All the counters, the bed, blankets, it's all burning. Your beard is singed to hell. Like, you're gonna have to trim that shit up. Your tentacles are doing their best to, like, some of the smaller embers. But everything is scorched. But besides just blowing out the window, the brick walls seem to have been thick enough to hold everything in. So there's no structural damage. Just a lot of interior burning and interior damage. You have a few moments before eventually the Sharn Watch bust up to the door along with some Jarasco healers, asking if everything's okay, what happened, what's going on.
Can I look inside the suitcase? Because I still open up the suitcase, right?
Yeah, you still opened up the suitcase. It's ruined. Everything has been blown to pieces. If you would like, make a perception check for me.
Oh, right.
I assume you would like.
I would like to perception, yes.
Would like to perceive.
11.
11.
If it's investigation, it'd be higher, but you know.
What's the investigation?
18.
Okay. It's a lot of burnt, smoldered stuff. Even the briefcase was destroyed in the blast. The odd things you do find, besides a bunch of scorched clothes, is bits of metal and what seemed to be some kind of gem or mineral that had been blasted. And you see like bits of metal stuck into the wall that not something a Sky Coach driver would have had with him or would have been in the room itself.
I quickly ask him. I mean, they're gonna break through the door. I don't know if there's really any reason for me to do anything other than. I'm probably just gonna ask him. So you say, you said this was your stuff?
He is cowering behind you, and he says, "That's what they told me. It was just whatever I was collecting from the crash, whatever clothes I was wearing."
Who is they? Are you talking about the Sharn Nights just coming in right now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. Did Cornelius get anywhere close, or did the man who visited last get anywhere close to this here suitcase?
I think so. I don't remember.
Good. All right. Well, they should be opening the door anytime soon. So I'm gonna go ahead. Yep. All right. I was walking towards it, opened it up.
So they all rush in. A few Sharn Watch. It's a small room. But 2 Sharn Watch run in, and a healer runs in to administer kind of immediate first aid. So Oleg, they do some immediate first aid for you. It's some non-magical, quick stitching, quick ointments and things of that nature. You are healed for 12 hit points.
12 hit points.
And they do the same for Bart.
Do you happen to have beard oil or something for my now squished beard? It's a little unfortunate.
This halfling healer, wearing a simple apron, simple button-down shirt, he turns to the Sharn Watch, looks back at you, and says, "There was just an explosion in here, and you're worried about the beard oil?"
Yes, it was very unfortunate. Also, I mean, why weren't you doing where were y'all? You were supposed to be protecting this guy.
Yeah.
I don't...
Are you talking to the Sharn Watch?
Yes.
They immediately, they look away. And start looking around the room, and they say, "Oh, was this here before?"
Yes, the fireball definitely happened right before. It's crazy.
The crown molding is.
Well, this is a nice facility you have here. And at this point, the 3 Spike, Donovan, Varian, you arrive back at the healing house. You see that the Sharn Watch, from where before they were not there, they have returned. In response to this explosion, there are a few healers running around checking on other patients, so you kind of have to push through, but you eventually make it to the room, and you see that this entire examination room is scorched, the windows blown out, cabinets blown off their hinges. Almost everything that could be burned and destroyed has been burned and destroyed.
Oh hey, nice to see you. By the way, there was a trap in the suitcase. It was a great time.
Are you alright?
Oh yeah, this is
good.
It's all part of the look. It was planned obviously by somebody else, not me. But
I'd say so. I look at one of the doctors to like gauge if he's an appropriate level of like flippant about this.
They look a little horrified at how relaxed he is, but Varian, with your high passive perception, you notice that Oleg is missing like his right eyebrow, like entirely.
You look great. What the hell happened?
Well, you know, there was explosion.
Well, yeah, but from
What, there's supposed to be guards up here?
You know, I just asked the same question. Do you have?
I take out my pen and my paper, and I go up to one of the Shard Watch. I go, "Can I get a statement about this explosion? Wasn't this guarding floor your responsibility? Will you take responsibility for the injuries that happened here?"
No comment. We're gonna go canvass the area. Is everyone here all right?
So I take this as an admission of guilt, or at the very least, an inability to protect the innocent.
So no, there must be a terrorist.
The inability.
Here. We have to go
protect
find
the innocent.
them.
Can you have some answers?
Okay, so about
go find him. It would have been better if you'd found him before the explosion, but fine.
I mean, do you happen to know? Do you happen to know what happened? You know, why you left the station at all?
Yeah, when we went up here, there were no guards. Can you give a statement as to why there were no guards on this floor?
I mean, at the very least, off the record. You know, off the record, maybe, possibly.
Number of reasons: bathroom breaks, snack breaks, coffee breaks, water breaks. People have to eat, people have to drink, people have to use the bathroom. I can't count for
So
everybody.
I take this as either an aptitude on your part or a very poor schedule. Either way, you have failed to do your job.
If you know
go
how
about
to
your
not
business.
take a shit, then you can let me know, okay?
I do
I
not.
didn't know-
Well, I do not take shit.
This is
so...
an active case. What happened?
I mean, it is
We'll
fun.
go
I
canvass the
understand.
area, and they storm off. But
I hope you don't run into any bombs, because you surely won't notice them.
you all can clearly see that they're hiding something. They fucked up in some way. Like they are not
What was
just
As one of them walks away, I'd like to cast Detect Thoughts.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Do you want to probe deeper, or do you just want to start with some surface thoughts?
I'll start with some surface thoughts.
So this burly, grizzled man that has just yelled at you and stormed away. His surface thoughts are, "Oh damn, it wasn't worth a couple silver. Jesus, I didn't expect this to happen."
As he's walking away and I hear that, I'm gonna cast Suggestion, and I'm gonna go, "Hey, friend, I suggest you tell us everything you know about what went down tonight."
And that's a wisdom save.
Yes.
He's gonna roll a 6.
Divination Wizard.
Hey,
Pro team.
Yeah.
So this old grizzled watchman turns around, walks back into the examination room, and barks at the other Sharn Watch officers, the healers, to leave. They leave. He slams the door. You see ash and soot just off the door and the door frame. Says, "An investigator came in here, said he was with you guys, said he wanted to get a private word with this victim, this witness. We told him no, but I've read about him in the papers. He used to travel with you guys. He said he left the writ with you all, so he didn't have it with him, and he gave us a couple silver to, bugger off and give him some privacy, and you figured he was trustworthy."
So all it takes for someone to be trustworthy is a couple of silver. Noted.
And to know who you guys
will
are,
know about this.
know who you guys are by name and look like all the etchings do.
I'm gonna minor illusion a visage of Cornelius. Was this the man?
So, yeah, he looked just like that. So see,
Well-
it was within reason. I mean, I regret it now.
I don't necessarily blame you, to be honest, but at the same time, changelings are a thing, you know?
And so is illusion magic and transmutation.
Maybe next time I recommend not taking bribes to not do your job.
I don't know. I kind of like this idea. Please don't stop.
I'm gonna make eye contact with Oleg and just like
more open to
narrow
bribes.
my eyes and write something down.
It doesn't seem like a terrible thing. I just, make sure that the person's the real deal next time. Maybe identification or something.
It was just pretty persuasive.
I'm sure he was. Is there anything else?
Oh yes, about the suitcase. Did you happen to look inside the suitcase beforehand? What was inside his suitcase when he came in?
No, just anything that seemed to be that was on his person or on the sky coach in the crash, and then I believe some of the nurses here you put his clothes and other belongings in there, but as far as I know.
Okay. Well, I mean, do you happen to know what his belongings were? I mean, they're kind of scorched now, so.
As far as I know, just some clothes, bits of ID to tie him to House Orion. About it.
Great.
Interesting.
Would there be any reason for your friend Cornelius to act this way?
No.
When was the last time you were in contact with him?
When was the last time, Logan?
Unless I feel like Spike would probably be the most likely to keep in touch to some capacity because they're from a similar part of the city. You know that Cornelius has been off doing his own jobs quite a lot recently, whether that's been returning clients requesting more work from him as a PI or some new jobs. Spike, do you want to say you've kept in touch a little bit?
I've actually, we're not like the best of friends, but I'd say pen pals, at least, with Cornelius. He's been, doing his own jobs and things like this, but a bomb?
I think it might be in our best interest to hunt him down and see what he has to say about all this.
Perhaps we should have a talk, yes.
Okay.
I mean, we also have the lead. It's been a little while, but where's Wendelin anyway?
Well,
That's a very good question.
her detective abilities and her techniques are very unorthodox, I must say.
So
We have similar opinions.
So we follow a bit of floating soot out of the window, down through the alleys, past the hot dog guy.
Follow the smell of poop.
Following the smell of a shart. And Wendelin, you are investigating the nearby alleyways. So, Wendelin, what exactly do you want to be looking for? What do you want to keep an eye out for?
The guy. Do I know Cornelius?
Make a history check.
Okay.
DC 10.
That's so high.
12.
You've heard of him. You know he looks vaguely human. You do know he's Kalishtar, so he does look vaguely human. Brown hair, kind of grizzled private eye aesthetic.
Okay. Who is he?
He's a private investigator.
Okay. So okay. That obviously the rest of the party has worked with before.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I go down the alleys looking for someone that looks
Grizzled?
Kalashtar knees or
Do you say Kalishtar knees? Whatever. Make a perception
Calistarian.
check. Calistarian.
I feel like that's offensive. I don't know why.
I feel like that suffix is usually applied to ethnicities rather than races, but sure.
Not even race, like that's a like Kalashard is almost like a different like species in a way.
Yeah,
14.
You see a couple people that have lingered in the alleyways, grabbing a smoke during a break or tossing out some garbage. You stumble upon what seem to be two individuals passing off something as discreetly as possible, but with a quick eye, you see that they're essentially doing a drug deal. They're passing over something and taking some coin in the other hand, and then you walk up and they say, "All right, so I'll see you at a church in a couple days." I say, "Yeah, absolutely."
So it's the pastor's son.
And they go about their business, but you
always
don't
that.
really spot anyone that fits the profile of Cornelius.
Okay, I want to go to those two guys and
of course
ask
you do.
them,
Y'all doing crime over here?
and just be like, "Hey, have you guys seen a PI-looking fella come around this part?"
I'm not a narc, if you're wondering.
Yeah.
There's one guy standing there. You first think he's a dwarf, but then you note that he's a human, but he's like 4'10", but like 220 pounds. Like he is a stocky dude. He kind of has arms like Wreck-It Ralph. Like they are just massive and thick.
You're just describing Danny DeVito.
Yeah, Danny DeVito. So you got Danny DeVito on one side, and on the other side, like the rosy-cheeked, moon-faced pastor kid, who's getting the drugs. The pastor kid, he says, "Gee, no, I've never seen anyone like that down here." But then the Danny DeVito guy says, "What of it?"
Oh man, alright. Do I have money?
Do you have money? I certainly hope so.
Okay, yeah, I'll give I don't know how expensive things are. A gold coin. And be like, it would really help with my business.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. Or a deception
With my
check, either
business.
one. With my
I'm a businessman. I do business.
It's a
My
19.
non-sketchy business.
19.
Spreadsheet.
He takes the gold coin and says, "Yeah, I've not seen anyone like that around here in the past minute or so, but there was someone who just rushed really quickly out of this alleyway. Frankly, she was beautiful. But she didn't match anything what you were saying, but I just know she rushed down this alleyway, like, in a hurry."
What'd she look like?
Oh, curly blonde hair, human. I guess I don't want to assume human-ish. Blonde curly hair down her back, bright red lipstick, beautiful eyeshadow. She kind of had a long like fur coat. Beautiful.
Okay.
Not from around
So
here,
she-
clearly.
Like made of money.
I guess so, yeah.
Which way did she go?
It looks like she just hurried down the street that way. And he points in a direction that's away from the healing house.
Okay.
And you glance outside of the alleyway, and you start seeing that due to the explosion, people are coming down from their apartments, leaving their businesses, crowding in the streets, sticking heads out of windows, and so catching a trail of whoever this woman may have been will probably become more difficult. Or easier if people had seen her, but it's dependent.
Does that match any description? Would that? I don't know. That
I would
doesn't
say
ring a bell
up
to me,
until
I guess.
this point, that doesn't match the description of anyone you've seen
Okay.
or heard about.
Human looking. Okay. I will head back to the healing house.
As a clarification, I know that we don't know the description of this woman, but what did the necromancer's assistant look like?
Excuse me, everyone.
Kyman Kelly.
Kyman Kelly. If I do recall correctly, I'm gonna have to dig into my notes a bit. She was elven.
Okay.
Do you want me to stop there?
Yeah, I was just making sure that this wasn't.
Yeah, she was kind of elven, like brunette, darker skin, but fairly
They never
average.
caught her,
looking.
right? She just pieced out.
No, they caught. Yeah, they caught her.
Oh no, they did. Yeah,
Spike,
sorry, the private
Spike
investigator.
and Cornelius had called in a favor. Yeah.
Cool.
So Wendelin, you walk back down the street. The hot dog guy.
Before I
Oh,
go
hot
all the way
dog
back,
guy.
I want to go to the alley where I clean myself
Mhm.
and just get rid of the evidence.
You take out a lighter, you start burning your shit-covered rags. No one will ever know my shame.
A true shadow in the night.
As you are getting rid of the evidence, the Sharn Watch, who have started to canvass the area, spot you and they say, "Hey, what are you doing down there?"
Cleaning.
Oh, now they decide to be good at their
And
jobs.
then they like focus in. They say, "Oh, you're with those investigators. Yeah, cleaning."
Yeah, I'll be there shortly.
All right. God. And he turns and like to the woman that's sitting next to him is like, "God, this district smells like shit." Jesus.
No, it's just your shitty policing.
But then after a few minutes, the five of you regroup.
You've destroyed the property values in the area.
Everything smells like shit. So the five of you regroup, probably not in the smoldering scorched room, but probably in the lobby area of the healing house to discuss your next moves and to update each other.
Cool.
Well, this case has taken quite the turn.
Yeah, Cornelius is blowing up shit.
Well, let's hope it's not Cornelius. Although
How well do you know this Cornelius person? Is it someone you trust?
I mean, we went on several adventures together, and he had our back. So I don't want to believe it, and I think
Well,
perhaps we should proceed under the assumption that somebody is masquerading as Cornelius.
oh wait, have we?
Can verify.
I'm sorry. Did Wyndham come back and tell us about the things?
I assume so. Wendelin, did you
Oh, okay.
tell them what
Then I'm-
you found out?
Hey guys, look what I found. Da, 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 da.
That's just shit.
You smell like you smell like smoke and feces, Gwendolyn. What have you been doing?
I'll be back. And I go to the nearest bathroom.
What insights do you bring with you?
Wendelin
Light a
steps
candle
away
next
for a
time,
few minutes and
Jesus.
comes back smelling a lot better.
Okay. Well,
Can I get healed in this healing house before we leave?
Do you want to pay to get healed?
Sure.
Yeah. Oleg's healing is more of a first aid caution, but if you want to pay for some magical healing, you're more than welcome to do so.
Cool.
Let me look up the numbers for that. Boop, boop, boop. Nope, that's wrong.
yes.
Anyways, if you guys want to keep talking while I look this
I don't know if a quick moment. Shout out to Mike Viola if he's watching.
Yeah, and Hannah Essick, if you're watching, you've skulked in my streams before. Give me a follow. Shout out in the chat. Anything lurkers.
Well, if Gwendolyn has told us about the woman, I would say, if you followed them, then it sounds like the woman. I mean, do we have any description other than looks like money?
Yeah, so human-looking woman with curly blonde hair, bright red lipstick, and a fur coat.
Cool. Well,
Some eyeshadow.
maybe we should go down this alleyway and see about it. I mean, it's been a little bit of time, but
yes, but that's a good lead to follow.
It
We
wouldn't
should
poke around. It
also-
wouldn't hurt to poke around for a bit.
We should also look in on Cornelius just to make sure that if God willing it's not him, and that somebody knows that somebody is masquerading as him.
I have a question for DM.
Yes.
So, last time I checked in on Amalia, she was using Cornelius' places places to lay her head down low and like rest and things. Is there a way I can get back in contact with her?
Not an immediate way. You could try your average messaging service or even unaverage messaging service. It would still take like several hours, if not a day or so. But the most immediate would be a sending spell, and that would just cost you some money. Because you don't, as far as you know, even up to this point, you don't really have any mutual friends besides like Cornelius.
I know, because I'm just like,
Who is this person?
She's like Batman. She's Batwoman of Sharn. Alright? That's all you gotta know.
Would I know anything about that?
About Batwoman of Sharn?
It depends. Spike, do you say her real name?
Oh, no. I don't say that.
Do you say her vigilante name?
I gotta pull that back up.
It was Virtue.
Virtue, yes.
we've heard of Virtue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we?
all of you, especially you, Donovan, know who Virtue is. She has been this very aggressive vigilante who has just been like, not just sending a message, she's been like killing like well-known drug dealers, well-known assassins and stuff like that, and leaving them out in public branded. Like she's been brutal, but it's sort of it's been a gray area for a lot of people, and no one knows who they actually are.
Oh, well, friend, if you have ties to virtue, that makes you even more interesting than I previously suspected.
All other questions aside, are you suggesting that she could have carried out this attack, or are you simply saying she might have information on who did?
I think she may have a
Virtue
little
is a
bit of
she.
information on them. I have
Okay.
information on them.
Okay, retract, make those days.
It's too late. You already said it.
Yeah, I think Virtue may have a little bit more information, just in case we can't actually get in touch with Cornelius.
You have nothing to fear from me. I don't want to expose a vigilante that's
Well, it's
doing,
not
for the
my
most part,
right
good work.
to, give away someone's secret identity.
So
Everyone
you're
has
saying
their-
you do know Virtue's secret identity.
I'm saying that an identity which may or may not be secret is something that I do or do not know.
This is the best case I've ever
Speaking like a
worked.
lawyer. All right.
A nurse pokes her head in and says, "Is everyone feeling okay? Does anyone need any healing?"
Yes.
Yes.
Actually.
I could use a
Oh,
bit.
never mind. I can just. I'm just
So,
gonna.
I'll take it.
she pulls out like a little like pocket menu essentially.
Ooh.
And essentially, she can stitch up wounds, apply some antibiotics, whatever you need. Very simple, non-magical stuff for a gold
You
piece.
charge for Wi-Fi? That's ridiculous.
Very simple, non-magical healing for a gold piece, or they can cast Cure Wounds on you for 25 gold pieces per spell level. So if you want a third level Cure Wounds, it'll cost you 75 gold pieces.
All right. Well. All right.
And
Give me a
for
second.
general reference, the non-magical healing will heal you. What level are you guys? 7?
Yeah.
It'll heal you a minimum of 8 hit points.
I'll take the non-magical one.
Same, yeah.
How much healing is cure wounds again?
1d8 plus whoever's their wisdom is. So it'll effectively be a minimum of 9 hit points per level. But the non-magical stuff they can only do once, a la the healer feat. So Spike, she pulls out like all these syringes and bandages, and then like looks up at you, and you like lower your bandana and kind of reveal like Warforged. She's like, oh. Puts on like a welder's mask and like, pulls out a blowtorch and a hammer, starts going to town, and Spike, she heals you for 12 hit points.
The woman of many talents.
How much do I owe her?
For that, it's just a gold piece.
Oh, okay, cool.
What time of day is it right now?
Glad you asked. It's about 2 o'clock.
So all that happened. I'm sorry, for some reason, all that happening, I was thinking about it happening like in the middle of the night.
No,
But
yeah,
that was just
it was
the daytime.
effectively morning and afternoon. And by the way, not Gwendolyn, you already kind of did it. Varian, your stomach growls. You have not eaten since like this morning early.
Let's say we grab a quick lunch and then go over and see your friend Cornelius.
Working
Yes.
lunch. Yes. That sounds perfectly.
The nurse says,
agreeable.
"There's a hot dog stand right down
No,
the street."
no.
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 I
Oh, it is.
Oh.
No.
Yeah,
Is it not good?
that hot dog stand, I should have mentioned before you went down there. We did a report on them. They sell bad food. Don't do that. Don't eat there.
I did a report
Oh.
on that.
Are you a food critic as well?
I do a lot of things.
Who else needed healing?
Sometimes the news is slow and I have to write about hot dog vendors.
Varian, you want some non-magical healing?
Yeah. So in this
God
in this
damn it.
city of ceaseless gang wars and magic, you found the time to write.
Yeah. A hot dog stand review.
Listen, sometimes you want to do something a little more lighthearted. Donovan is about exposing
puff
corruption,
piece,
even if it's a
yes.
hot dog stand that serves rank food.
Jesus. Varian, I rolled a 1, so you receive 8 hit points.
Okay,
No
cool.
work is beneath Donovan.
Any more healing before you depart?
I mean, can we just like
No,
stack up with that first aid healing?
You cannot stack up on the first aid healing. That's the one downside to it. It's cheap, but one time.
You said 25 per cure wounds?
Yeah, 25 for a cure wounds.
I'll do 50.
50? Alright, so you will get 2d8 plus her wisdom. So that is going to be 9 additional hit points. So,
Is everybody feeling okay?
Never been better.
and also, if you wanted to, so what's your next thing you want to do?
Do we want to go investigate the alley, or did we want to go talk to Cornelius, or alley then Cornelius?
Perhaps the alley on the way to food, on the way to Cornelius.
All right.
Because what I was going to pose was, if you wanted to make your lunch stop a short rest, you're welcome to. You'll just, you're sort of, you'll extend your lunch break to an hour as opposed to just grabbing it in your commute. So that'll leave that up to you.
Grab
At
some
this point-
coffee.
At this point, we can't really catch up with the person who ran away. So we might as well have.
Probably long gone.
Yes, we might as well just take a little bit of a nap. Yeah, why not?
So here's what we're going to do to sort of expedite this. You're going to investigate the alley. I
Oh,
know-
Daniel Buchan is in chat.
Hey Daniel.
Daniel, welcome!
Carson, say hi to your big.
Hey Daniel, thanks for dropping in.
Yeah.
Love to see you here.
Daniel, I tuned into your stream earlier. It was a lot of fun.
Hey.
So, since I kind of know what each of your primary abilities are, Spike and Donovan, if you'll make a charisma check for me, Oleg, Varian, if you'll make an intelligence check for me, and then Wendolyn, if you'll make probably a perception check for me. Whatever investigative kind of skill you think would apply to this.
I got an 18.
18?
So this is
If it
pure
is-
intelligence?
Yeah, just straight up intelligence. Or make an investigation, and Oleg, you can do the
Hey.
same.
Okay, that's an
I'm not
11
done
then.
with that.
Nice.
Can we use persuasion then?
It just because you're gonna meet so many different types of people around this alley and in the streets, you may take a different approach to each one. So we'll just make it a flat charisma.
Okay, 18 then.
Dirty 20 for
Dirty
me.
20, Spike.
I got an 8.
Nice. Wendolyn.
21.
21. So Wendolyn, Varian, and Donovan. God, so many N names. Wendolyn, Varian, and Donovan, you each, you're asking around, and Oleg and Spike, you're essentially helping them out. Can I get a volunteer to roll a D4? Alan, if you'll roll a D4 for me.
Oh, that's a volunteer. Wow.
Yeah.
4.
Had the finger on that trigger.
A 4. Not great. You wanted a low number.
Oh.
But so as you leave the healing house, you notice that there is a crowd of people in the street, looking around to see the whatever this explosion, loud noise was.
4,000 people.
So many people. And people standing in alleyways trying to get a peek around corners, and all these people are essentially disturbing evidence as well. So with that 4, it takes 40 minutes to talk to people, get to the alley, look around it, find any usable evidence.
Dang.
But the 2 people who find the most usable evidence are Donovan and Spike, talking to people. Using Wendolyn's note from that drug dealer about this person looking frantic and running through alleyways, you see, or start noticing a pattern that a lot of people say the same thing about different people leaving an alley. So, like, the original person said, yeah, it was this beautiful blonde woman with red lipstick and a fur coat. You ask someone else, and they say, oh yeah, someone came out from that alley. It was this gruff-looking butcher man that had this large trench coat on, and then he says, oh yeah, coming down that alley, it looked like a newspaper boy with suspenders and a winter coat and a little newsboy cap. And then the next one says, oh yeah, there was a prostitute that came out of there. She was beautiful, but yeah, she was in a rush somewhere. And just on and on, you notice that people have these different accounts of the same thing, but different people doing it in different alleyways.
So, could we? I have keen mind. I don't know if could we like big brain like a pattern where it's just like all these people were different people, but they were like in a line of alleyways. Is there like a pattern?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Make
Sure.
Like if it was a shapeshifter. Like
do you? I would say make an intelligence check, and if you want to brainstorm this with your party, you can do it with advantage.
I would brainstorm. I would gather everyone after we talked for a little bit, and I'd go. We keep hearing different people responding in the same frantic manner in different alleys. If you really believe that someone took the form of your friend, maybe it's some kind of shapeshifter. Maybe there's a pattern here. And now I will roll.
Okay.
That's good. So is it investigation or just intelligence?
Investigation.
Okay.
Making deductions.
That was a 16 and a 1. So 16 is 23.
Fuck. So,
Bards, baby.
you guys get in a huddle and stand out in an alleyway. You huddle up together. You start dancing back and forth. And you start sort of mind mapping. And I imagine Varian doing some minor illusion and stuff. You sort of make a blueprint or some kind of map in the air for everyone to look at. And you do notice a pattern. Everyone's pointing at different alleyways, pointing at different persons, and it sort of leads you to believe that whoever this person may have been, if it was a shapeshifter or whatever, that they essentially ducked in an alley and then came out someone different, ducked in an alley, came out someone different, ducked in an alley, came out someone different, for a while, until someone just points and like, yeah, they ran off that way, and it's just off into the city.
Well, this means it's probably that your friend Cornelius may not actually be the person we're looking for.
Yes.
Unless they have some kind of shape-shifting capabilities.
I don't think he
Yeah,
would
I'm
have
pretty-
it.
Didn't he have some kind of warlocky bullshit to help him?
No, it is more of different stuff like that.
As far as I know, the only things that would achieve this sort of power, I think warlocks might have some sort of ability like that. Obviously a changeling, and perhaps the alter self spell. I know you can, by concentrating on it very hard, you can change your appearance mid spell.
Well, just a little bit of I don't know if this would be, but I could rationalize that it probably would be someone who could do that at will, unless they're burning like a million spell slots to change at every alleyway. Is that like a smart person would be able to reasonably figure that out?
Thinking through this logically, the only way I'm thinking about it is either Mask of Many Faces, Changeling, or Alter Self, which lets you change your appearance at will during the spell.
Can we, because detecting the pattern, can we tell what direction they went?
Also, what part of the city are we in? Does anyone remember?
Death's
Death's
Gate?
Gate.
Yeah,
That's
that's,
good.
that's
Which I
Anyone-
think was in Middle Dura, or is that its own thing?
Or is it in Central Plateau?
What do you
Let me
think?
put my Sharn map.
Sorry, there was a
Where
lot
are
of
we?
questions at once.
Yeah.
All right, so question 1. Hit me.
Okay.
What direction did the pattern seem to lead?
It seemed to lead. Let me pull up the map as well. So you were in Middle Tavik's Landing. It seemed to lead not necessarily north out of the district, but north. And then it started going to. Someone said that it went to this final figure went to one of the many elevators and bridges in Sharn, and started going down. And then after that, you lose track.
So they went down to the lower city.
Second question.
Do we have a different
think-
question?
I think that the other question was like, where are we right now? And that answered that.
Oh, that answered that. Sweet.
Yeah.
I have one
Still
question.
in Death's Gate.
Yes.
In the past, didn't we? I don't know if this. I don't think it was in Tavik's Landing. I think it was in Dura. But wasn't there like some type of club with a bunch of changelings?
Mhm.
Yes.
gentleman's club for
that
changelings?
was over in Memphis Plateau, actually. And
Is that in the lower city?
that's in the lower city, and Memphis Plateau is one of the wards, and specifically, it was in the district called Torchfire. The club was called the Gallery, and it was next to Bardic Fancies, where your best friend Mommy's Boy owned his business, and Torchfire is also where Greycastle has his penthouse, where you guys can conduct business and crash whenever you need to.
Was it towards that direction or separate? Because the way that you described it, it sounds like it may not be. I don't know.
That it's unclear.
Okay.
Because once the person who saw this figure hit the elevator, after that, you have no idea. And so
Yeah.
they could have bolted any which way.
So maybe a friend Cornelius is fine, but do we know if there's a place in the city? Would I know if there's a place in the city that a lot of changelings that perhaps we could talk to them and see if they would know anybody that would do something like this?
do something like this.
Like plant a bomb and try to
I was
kill
gonna
somebody.
say there are quite a few places where changelings tend to gather, but specifically something like this, you would have to probably Spike. You would know for a changeling to do something like this, likely affiliated with House Tarkanan. Maybe the Dask, but the Dask is a bit more brutal and brutish in their attempts, whereas House Tarkanan, they are more assassins by nature. They're quick and clean.
And we mentioned something about House Tarkanan last time, didn't we? Something came up with House Tarkanan that we were talking about. I don't remember exactly what it was.
House Tarkanan.
I think it may have just been the fact that they exist and they're like,
Or something about poisons, wasn't it?
Yeah, if it was like super expensive poison. Let me see.
Yes, that's what it was.
Oh yes, didn't we want to before we go to our friend Cornelius? Didn't we possibly want to go see? Did we even talk to the person who made the poison?
oh yes, he's Professor Mulgrave.
Oh,
Merrick Kenneth.
He's the creator of the Warforged.
Yeah, I thought he also made the.
there was a person who created this poison, and like immediately, as soon as he invented the poison, it was immediately banned.
That's right.
Because it like wasn't it like it messes with people's minds and makes people forget? Wasn't that the thing?
It's just a very potent poison.
Okay.
More grave, you're right. Yeah.
I think that perhaps maybe it'd be in our best interest to investigate places where a changeling or some shapeshifter might be spending time. Maybe that group of assassins we mentioned. And I say that part under my breath because I'm not going to be like, let's go look for assassins in the middle of the street,
What do you mean? That seems perfectly reasonable.
Pause,
You have to-
pause. I've gotten my criminal organizations mixed up. We spoke about House Tarkanan last time, because they are one of the assassin criminal organizations. The Changeling criminal organization is the Tyrants. I got it flipped around.
We haven't actually talked about the Tyrants at all, I think.
Yes, that's different.
Yes, that is different. Actually, Spike
Would I know?
Oleg Varian. And sure, actually, fuck it, all of you, make a history check for me.
Yeah.
Spike Oleg Varian, do it at advantage.
At advantage.
Thank you for that.
Oh,
17.
That's a
17.
21.
this is a high number. Hold on.
I got a 16.
22.
Okay. Oleg, what did you get?
17.
Okay. So Varian and Donovan. The Tyrants are mostly all about identity theft, small-time thieving, things of that nature, and they tend to focus on themselves. They're not involved with the war between the Boromar and the Dask, any of that bullshit. You do recall, in your very first case as a group, you had went over to the district of High Walls, in Lower Tavix Landing, and you went to a club or a bar that is owned entirely by changelings.
Yes, the salon.
Yes, the salon.
Is that true?
In a way. I believe it was Dragon Eyes, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Dragon Eyes.
Or it was just outside of High Walls, excuse me. Yes, it's a district called Dragon Eyes, and you went to a club of the same name. It's all, food and lounges and things of that nature.
Oh yeah, it was super fancy, right?
It was pretty fancy, and there was a changeling who shifted themselves into a busty woman to make Varian nervous for the fun of it.
That's right.
But it is rumored, after you all brainstorm this out loud, that the District of Dragon Eyes is the home of the criminal organization, the Tyrants.
What sort of reputation do they have in terms of violence?
The violence is more in the portfolio of the other main three, the Dask, the Boromar, and House Tarkanan. The Tyrants, on occasion, will deal with some violent stuff, but it's more about secrets, information, forgeries, false documents, false identities, things of that nature. So it's far less about violence, but more about information. So it does strike you as a bit odd that a changeling, potentially affiliated with a criminal organization, to do such a thing.
Perhaps that something in this case was powerful enough to cause them to make an exception to their usual policy, or that they're dealing with a rogue agent.
I was about to say someone acting on their own.
Which may make them more willing
Someone with
to cooperate
personal
with
stakes
us.
in this.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
Remind me real quick. Would the person that was killed, would they have had any dealings with these changeling otherwise? Maybe something that would have damaged their house reputation or something like that? I'm asking the group, not necessarily Logan.
I was trying to think if anyone would know. I don't think so.
See, what perplexes me, I guess, is for whom exactly was the bomb meant? Was it meant just to kill Barton Finch, or does somebody know who were working on this case?
It feels though
That's
somebody had to have known, right? Like that feels.
I feel like what Oleg is getting at is that the fact that someone chose to impersonate your friend Cornelius leads me to believe that they knew that you all would be here and would be trying to investigate. So this may be a personal endeavor. You may have made an enemy that's trying to get rid of you. Or perhaps maybe they were trying to make sure that Mr. Finch never spoke a word of anything he witnessed.
I'm inclined to agree with you there. So, I guess we could ask who would have known we were working on the case, but, I mean, anybody could have seen us walking around and asking questions.
Well,
Yes, but good.
we did encounter a peculiar group.
The mercenaries?
Just
Oh, the ones that were harassing me?
no. Before
Because I was about to say, those people barely had one brain cell among all of them.
Where's it at? Where's my notes?
While Xavier... go ahead.
When we were going to the Oleg's stagecoach.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
wasn't that?
The Dask?
Yeah.
Ones who tried to shake us down?
I mean, they are, we did piss them off.
I
Would
suppose.
be out of, I don't know, the
Seems-
realm of plausibility.
Seems extremely ballsy for them to kill two prominent members of the Dragonmark houses, but I don't suppose I'd put it past them.
Well, I don't know if that's pissing them off is really.
You think the bomb might be unrelated to the case?
I would say what I'm thinking is that the bomb is merely a deterrent for solving the case. I feel like maybe the person that killed the people from the Dragonmark houses simply wanted to make sure the light of the case. Regarding your reputation so far, you've been able to solve every case you've come across. Maybe they were scared that you would be able to figure it out.
Spike.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are kind of. Where would you guys be right now? You had to go outside and investigate the alley, wade through the crowd, and do some investigating. Where would you go to discuss this?
We're like sitting in a cafe, like eating like crepes or something, just like
Yeah, I feel like we're
this
just.
murder is crazy.
Yeah, can this count as our short rest while we're having this conversation?
That's actually
Sure.
exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, sure.
What kind of restaurant would we be at? It's 2:00. Where would we go? What is Sharn's best hot chicken restaurant?
Well, that's way up in the upper city, other side, over in North Edge.
What's Sharn's most mediocre hot chicken restaurant?
Yeah, so that's
like Nashville hot chicken, but in
so
Sharn.
we'll say he's keeping in the middle city, Death's Gate area. You
Waffle
see a necromancy themed chicken place called Off the Bone. You see that it's sort of a pay by the piece place. It's sort of hole in the wall.
Okay, so this place is I did a review of this place. It's not the best, but it also won't get you sick.
Yeah.
Probably. Don't quote me on that.
And
it's
it's
good
like
enough for me.
cheap. It's very reasonable pay by the piece. So you guys should.
You could have called it.
Politely.
Oh yeah, no. What
Yeah.
Buchan said. Buchan said ramen shop.
Logan,
Let's
you
go to a
could've
good
called it-
ramen shop.
You
Is there
walk
any
into this
way
chicken
to
place and turn
verify
around.
this is actually chicken.
You could have called it Bone Corral.
Bone Corral. No. So you walk into this chicken place, you realize, no, I want some ramen for lunch. You turn around and you find some simple noodle shop down the way. There's no seats inside except for like 2 chairs outside at the window.
Is it one of the? Yeah, it's like that booth. It's just at street level, and there's exactly 5 seats.
Yeah, perfect. So you go sit down, you're having this conversation, and Spike, they start talking about this explosive, and you're reminded of this vision, this episode you had, this memory that was let loose whenever you heard that specific explosion. But you didn't really get a look at anything while you were up there.
A blast disc.
What's that?
What?
A blast disc.
Would any of the rest of us know what a blast disc is?
Oleg, make a history check for me.
Of course,
sure.
Oleg.
With advantage, because you saw.
I've
investigated
killed a
the
lot of
scene.
people with blast discs.
Also, did I see Romulus's face, or was it just?
No,
the
it was
voice?
just the voice.
17.
A blast disc is a equivalent of a landmine that was produced during the last war. Oh, good night.
Good night.
Yeah, there's
Jessica
Sleep
traps his
well.
wife.
I forgot to be here at the same time.
A blast disc is essentially a circular sheet of metal that has dragon shard bits embedded into it that contain magical energy. During the last war, they were used as instruments of war to contain various spells, both more like fog cloud-esque things, also explosives. Sometimes they contain sleep spells to knock out massive amounts of like forces in one fell swoop. And so when Spike says blast disc, and you recall seeing the bits of strange metal and the bits of gems, there were the components of a blast disc in that room, like just embedded as fragments in the surroundings. And you would probably, Spike, you would also know that is a military grade magical thing that
So not everybody would have access to
your
that.
average person would not have access to it.
Blast discs, that's some high grade technology. Not everybody would have access to that.
Where would?
I reiterate that thing I said
Damn it,
after.
I'm sorry. Cracks me up. That never fails to make me laugh.
I'm sorry. I like to say things in character. You know, keep the narrative going.
Some guy walks by
People
and says,
pay
"Oh,
for this
blast disc."
That's funny you mentioned. Not everybody has access to that tech. That's what I was saying.
Oh, you guys talking about blast discs?
I'm a blast disc
I have a
enthusiast.
cousin who worked over.
Yeah. My cousin.
Oh
Phil,
my
you know him
God.
back in the day.
My cousin, they called him blast disc in high school. Crazy stuff.
For totally unrelated reasons.
Wait. I know we're joking, but can we use our? Can I use my I know a guy?
Blast,
To be-
disc Johnson.
Johnny Blast Disc.
Blast disc McGee.
I know a cousin who slipped his blast disc playing football.
He could have gone pro.
Oh my god, he probably mentions it all the fucking time.
Okay,
too.
so can there be a canon ever on sport that's just ultimate frisbee, but you play with a blast disc and if you catch it wrong, it explodes and you die?
that sounds.
Let me write that
why?
down real fast.
That sounds like a game in Warhammer 40k.
Oh,
Yes.
we need to get Daniel Buchan in a D&D game. We were
No,
talking in chat.
We've
We
mentioned
need to get him
He
in.
and I have talked about it a bit, so we'll work on it. We'll see it. We'll see what
I
happens.
told him next time there's a one shot, I'm gonna make sure he knows.
Talk about one shots. It'd be really cool to do your one shot at some point. I don't know if you're planning on I don't know if you were planning on anything. Not throwing you. Maybe you were, and I just
I mean, my Halloween one?
Yes.
I mean, we could if we wanted to.
maybe
I
we
would
should do
love
that
to.
on an off week or something. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see.
But anyway, about blast discs.
Blast
God.
Blast discs. Does any of you do any of you know anybody that would have access to that kind of material?
Do any of us know anybody?
I thought that he said that he knew a guy. Spike said that he knew a guy.
Oh, that's what it. That's so. Never mind. Fine. Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
joking. He wasn't joking about the name. He was joking about the fact that he knew a guy who had a Blastus.
Spike, you would, as a lot of illegal goods go, the Boromar clan would at least know something or someone. Alternatively, it's a long shot because this would be a very illegal practice, but House Cannith, the inventing house, would also have the potential to make or craft these things. Whether or not someone is illegally selling them, that would require a lot of digging and infiltration to figure out, but those are probably the two most immediate sources that you would think of.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but my sister has been watching us play, and that just warms my heart.
Hey, Carly.
Hey, Carly.
Hello, your name's apparently Carly. Hi.
Hello, Carly.
You got a Travis shout out. That's special.
Wow,
Hell
pretty
yeah. Anyway,
And I recall now why I got the House Tarkanan mix-up. Last time, whenever you were discussing victims, the 3 victims so far have all been from the Dragon-marked houses. And House Tarkanan, the aberrant Dragon-marked criminal organization, has had a long history with the Dragon-marked houses, and that's where that came from. And why?
okay.
Got it
I
down.
did remember you mentioning them last time.
I was like, why did I make that mix-up? What? And because we had talked about that at a different time. So yeah.
So either the Boromar clan or House Tarkanan.
So much corruption in this city. So many senseless murders. The guard is useless.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the reporter, shouldn't you know?
I do know. That's why I said it.
Oh,
I
okay.
propose that we all take a vacation.
I don't.
I don't think the paper can afford me taking a vacation. I'm the only one who knows how to get things done.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, everybody believes that.
Fuck.
But I'm the only one that knows it's a fact.
Is this ramen?
I do want to say, while we were talking to people, I would have earlier. I would have made a point to stir up some civil unrest to be like, "Hey, did you hear that the guards let somebody get almost murdered by a bomb?"
Jesus, you're trying to start a rebellion up in this?
No, I want people to hold the guard accountable.
I don't know.
Donovan says ACAB.
You do, and most people are pretty, like, I mean, fuck, there's not much we can do.
The bystander effect, classic.
Eventually you touch one person, and they run over and start hurling insults at the guard, and they smack a gauntlet at them, and say, "We're canvassing, we're trying to keep you safe."
My sister just said, "You hold that guard accountable." Hell yeah.
I don't know.
for you,
Seems
sis.
pretty unpatriotic.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. So, you're sitting in this lovely ramen shop.
Time to disappoint my father in D&D and in real life.
Oh, Logan.
Yes.
Did Pickle come back? And
All of
have
these
I been in
Sharn
contact
Oh,
with
that's
Love
right. It
Withers?
has been a hot minute since you sent Pickle. So you're enjoying some tasty ramen. And you hear the oh no, you're sitting on like the front porch bar area that's at street height. You see you and your organization, your people, you're quick and stealthy and light of foot. Love's only been at it like 3 weeks. She's not nearly as light of foot as everyone else is. And so you clearly watch her clumsily jump from like windowsill to balcony and then scurry along the corner of a building and clumsily loudly climb her way down.
Does anybody in the party like also see this, or is it just me?
Probably all of you would see this after, like, you see her way before everyone else does, but then finally all of you see Love scaling the side of a tower across the street.
Is that Love Withers?
I slurp my ramen very loudly.
Do you know that person?
She was a person of interest in one of our cases. Cleared, of course.
So this woman approaches. She's a tall woman, about 6.5 feet tall, very strong. Carries herself like a soldier would. Red curly hair toppled over to one side, human woman. But previously you saw her wearing the fake tin armor of the theater, and now she's wearing very dark leathers, very not similar, but that kind of reminds you of like Wendelin like clothes and leathers and stuff. And she after she finishes scaling the building, she blends into a passing crowd and then emerges on the other side and sees you guys and waves and says, "Hey, what are you guys doing here?"
Does she seem?
Hello.
Does she seem? How does she seem? Does she seem happy to see us? Is she just like? Is she just like? Shit.
Is she trying to play it off like she just stumbled upon us?
Yeah, she is most definitely trying to play it off. She's not that charismatic. She's more like scary charismatic. When she's trying to be like comforting and like sociable, not good at it.
It seems like you are a little uncomfortable with us.
No, I just I haven't seen you guys in a couple of weeks. Wendelin, I've seen you since the theater. So
Yeah.
how's everybody doing?
Can I answer that?
Doing all right. Not that it's not wonderful to see you, but what brings you to this part of the city today?
Spike, you do not have to inside check. She's most definitely like uncomfortable. She knows she fucked up and is trying to play it off, and she has most definitely seen Wendelin since the last time she saw you guys. She says, "Oh, I just got word that there was some crazy stuff happening over here, and I just thought I'd come and see what was going on. I mean, I had to quit my job as an actor, so I'm not really a mercenary, but I like to, just keep tabs on things."
Wait, why did she seem? Did y'all? I don't remember why she's seen you before. Do I know that in character why she's seen you before?
Who, Wendelin?
Yes.
Gwendolyn was with us on that case.
Yeah, but Alan,
No, but since.
would you have done your invitation stuff in private?
Oh, with love?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so you wouldn't really know. You just remember seeing her at the theater last time.
I am looking at Gwendolyn and Love, and like my eyes are doing that thing where it's like they're just zooming in.
Yeah.
I'm just like getting closer. I'm like leaning over and zooming in as I'm just looking at both of them.
Do I notice Spike doing that?
Spike, would you have tried to be discreet about it? I assume not.
No.
No, yeah, you totally see
Okay.
Spike doing that.
And I just blurt out, we're dating.
Love looks at you, like the slightest shrug. Yeah, I mean, we were trying to keep it
and
a
I was
little
just like-
secret. Wasn't official yet.
Does that
Congratulations.
does that seem like,
Yeah.
like a lie? Does that seem like one of those like really super
Yeah.
fake lies that you quickly do?
Yeah,
just like
Like when someone like tries to come up with a fake
And-
name, they're
and
like,
to-
ah,
and to
my name
sell
is
it-
Tony Table Glass.
Yeah. So Oleg and whoever else
And
would
I
want
wanna-
to make an insight check.
So at the
Yes.
same time, I want to like get up and just like I don't want to try and sell it, so I just hold hands with her and just like give a quick kiss and be like, "Hey, hun."
Okay, so Wendelin, what is your deception?
My deception?
Yeah.
Is probably +0.
Okay, so Love will make a deception check. Whoever would want to make an insight check.
Yeah, definitely.
17.
Oh, baby.
Dirty 20.
18.
Okay, Oleg, do you want to make an insight check?
sure, I can. I was like, I'm not gonna like tumble into this, but most definitely I'd be questioning this. That's a 7, so like, you know, Oleg doesn't, you know.
Yeah, you see these two
She's like,
women
"That
kiss,
tracks."
and you're like, yeah, that absolutely, that totally. The rest
Hell
of
yeah,
you-
brother.
The other 3 of you, there's the body language isn't there. They kiss, but it's not convincing. And once they stand next to each other, you see that they are matching a little too closely, and that they're hiding something, but they're doing their. You can at least tell they're doing their best to convince you they're not hiding something.
I'll turn and look at everyone that's not Wendelin. I'll go, how long have you been working with Wendelin?
It's been like
I
a week.
minor illusion our faces.
Few weeks?
Like you blur their faces again.
Like
When
mine and
we,
Love's face.
We've been seeing you for the past several. We know who you are.
Okay, with the whole minor illusion thing, I was more convinced that you were actually married or dating, but
Now
it seems
it's
a little bit less so.
Oleg.
Oh,
Buddy.
Love shakes at like the minor illusion, and like eventually tries to step farther enough away to where it goes away. Says, "So, did you? I heard about that explosion. Everything all right? Everyone okay?"
For the most part, I look at Oleg's destroyed beard.
I mean, the only disaster was a beard disaster, so I think overall we got it okay.
It was pretty tragic.
And Varian, you watch as Love starts to like point up at her eyebrow and say like, "Oh, but I mean, there's."
I wouldn't say anything.
Do I notice that?
It's the latest trend.
Oleg, make an insight check again.
Insight check. My man, I rolled a 1.
She only rolled a 4, but it's good enough.
Oleg's just eating that wrong.
Oleg
I'm
is
just
trying to
gonna-
do insight with his eyes closed.
I'm just gonna kind of go. I'm gonna minor illusion an eyebrow.
Can it look like a really badly drawn on one?
It's just a straight line that goes all
Yeah.
the way up here.
It's a rectangle.
So,
Like
I'm a
Millhouse.
wizard, not a miracle worker.
So
Can you
Love
say that out loud?
Love orders some ramen, and as you're sitting and talking and chatting, she discreetly leans over to you, Wendolyn.
Yeah.
Varian, you most definitely hear her, but she discreetly leans over to Wendolyn and says, "Alright, so, what's up? What do you need me to do? What's going on?
What do you need? What?
You called me here. That hawk.
Are
Yeah,
they just
did you
like
find any
leaning and like
information?
whispering to each other in front of 4 people that are already suspicious
Yeah,
of them?
we're all in a booth together.
I'm not suspicious of them. I'm like, yeah, they're dating. Cool.
She
Dude, even the
she
chef is like looking good.
Yeah, she waits until like people start talking. But
Leg's tucking into his like turkey.
He starts stroking his eyebrows and not noticing
Um,
anything. He's just like,
Looking in a mirror like, damn, my right eyebrow looks really good right now.
yeah.
Very blocky.
And so she looks at you, Wendolyn,
Yeah.
and says like, "Wait. Oh, yeah, right.
MOH. Did you find anything?
I didn't. There's a bugbear who works in like Lower Tavik's Landing named Mo.
Named Mo. No. It's not. It's MOH.
Yeah, that's how he spells it. It's just pronounced Mo.
Oh my god.
Just listen, I'm new at this. And at that point, she speaks up. Everyone, you hear her say, "I'm new at this," and she gets really quiet and says, "Yeah, I've never had ramen before. This is it's good. Yeah, I'm new at eating ramen."
I leave the table.
This is ridiculous.
Just imagine like some old man walking by like, oh, first time.
So you leave the table. Love looks around and says, "I need to go comfort my girlfriend," and Love gets up and follows after you.
course.
And she essentially says that besides learning that there's a bugbear named Mo in Lower Tavik's Landing, she mostly she says, I mean, the mark of healing. I don't. That's all I could really get. Mark of hospitality. But I didn't find an acronym or anything that has MOH. I mean, I only had a little while to work, but I can try again.
Okay, try again. Go find. Oh no.
Wait,
He's my I know a guy.
Varian, you have observant, don't you?
I do. I can read everything they're saying as long
I
as
was
they're
gonna say,
facing me.
Would you like
You've been
to?
reading their lips the
Yeah,
entire
totally.
time.
So then you
Do
have
I see Varian try to do that?
Varian make a stealth check, Wendolyn make a perception check.
Oh no. All right.
God, you guys are a nightmare.
I love it.
13.
19.
So Wendell,
All
you
right.
see Varian staring at you two, and it's not even just that he's looking at you, but you can see his lips moving, like he's recreating what you're saying to himself to make sure he's getting it right.
I minor illusion my mouth and Love's mouth. And I tell her
Blurred.
not to wave it away.
So you guys continue your conversation in
Yeah.
secrecy.
Actually, can I minor illusion it to just like say other things, like just random words like
Watermelon,
raspberry
watermelon,
jam,
mango,
Beef,
raspberry,
brisket,
carrots and
Sunday
peas,
juice.
carrots and peas. Yeah.
yeah.
So you continue your conversation in secrecy. You want Love to try again, and you want to use your I know a guy.
Yeah. To just tell her to talk to Jeff, this other guy in my organization that may
Sure.
know some things.
Sure.
That-
My name is Jeff.
So she.
And where's Pickle?
Pickle came back with her.
Okay.
So she nods her head, and as she nods her head, you see her say, pinto beans. And she,
At this point, I just give up.
yeah, she, seeing, you looking over, she grabs Wendolyn, dips her down, and kisses her, and when she stands back up, she says "dirty laundry" and then leaves.
And then before Love leaves, I say, yeah, and practice on your everything.
Practice on your everything. So Love
think of your center of mass.
Love nods her head and says "wet ink" and leaves. So Love leaves. You now have Pickle, your hawk, back with you, and you guys can discuss further while completing your short rest in this ramen shop.
Okay, before Wendelin comes back, I just turn to the other people. I'm just, how much do we actually know about Wendelin?
She's dating somebody apparently.
I know less than you do. If you know nothing, then I know less than nothing.
She likes to be called Spider Monkey.
I think I mentioned this when we met. There's absolutely no information accessible about Wendelin before she started working with you.
Well,
Bark.
this is a conversation for another day. There are 3 bodies on our hands at present.
Maybe more. We don't know.
What a strange day it's been. All right, where are we going next?
I thought we were gonna go see about what was it? About
I don't
that
think
club.
that we really need to go see Cornelius anymore.
No. The club, or maybe we go to. Do we want to go see about the poison? We can also talk about who was it? The Das clan? No. Who did they say had the poison? Boromar clan?
Boromar or Tarkana.
Yes. I mean, also don't know how offended people will be if we walk up to Desai's district and say, have you heard of Chingsling who goes out and kills people? I don't know if they're going to be really enthusiastic about that kind of thing.
I mean, maybe we play it a little closer to the chest than that, but point taken. Point taken, yes.
What if we try to get our hands on our own blast disc? Maybe if we can find the seller, we can find the buyer, maybe.
I didn't understand what you meant, but that makes a lot of sense. If we can trace how the person got access to them, we could probably find the person if whoever is selling them is willing to talk.
Yeah, you said something about possibly knowing a person who sells blast discs, right?
Yes. See, this. Well, at some point, Oleg, this may employ your particular skill set. I indicate the multiple weapons he has.
What skill set would that be?
Killing people.
Oleg,
Killing people. Interesting.
No,
I quote you on that.
Oleg, you're hilarious. Oleg, you're hilarious.
As I said last
Oleg's
time,
real jokes. You understand?
yes, I have lots of.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm totally cool with murder as long as it's justified, and you can quote me on that.
Okay, well, I will. But I'll make sure next time I kill somebody, I make sure to say that I was told it was okay as long as it's justified. And I'll make sure.
Oh boy, there's a lot to dissect in that. But...
it's fine. Go ahead. Why do you need me? I don't understand.
Oleg, you have how we say, natural talent for getting people to tell us information.
Yes, I'm very charismatic.
Yes, indeed you are. Yeah, some have a silver tongue, some have a silver trigger finger, and
some have big gun.
Yeah. All I'm saying is just be on standby, okay?
I mean, it's not like I'm going anywhere. I have the same job as you.
I don't know why I said anything. Anyway.
I discreetly get back to my seat and finish my ramen.
Oh yeah, how was the makeout session with the girlfriend? Was it useful?
Say,
Did you get any emotional fulfillment?
Useful, yes.
Was it youthful?
It was useful.
Oh, like you're getting put on a list somewhere, buddy. Damn.
I heard youthful too. I was like, the what?
Yeah, I got.
Your youth.
Yeah, I got some
remember
use
when I
out
used
of
to
it.
make out.
All right. So what is your next plan of action?
I question Gwendolyn for the next 30 minutes.
All
of
right.
makeup.
After you finish your short rest, where are you heading? What is your next?
I say House Darkan. Darkanan.
Master Cannon? Any against?
Do we know where
Is that
I'm
the?
staying.
find them?
Why House Darkanan? Is that that's the changelings, right? Yeah, we know.
House
we know where
No,
Darkanan
they're
is
not
the
the-
aberrant dragon marked.
Yeah.
people.
They just
Oh.
they're known for having a beef with the other Dragon Mark houses.
Oh.
Perhaps you
Have
might
access to the
should-
blast disc.
I would actually say maybe we need to look into who Spike knows that
Xenon
sells
did-
Blastus. That might be a better.
Yeah, did I get to use my Noah guy?
Or like maybe he knows a guy who knows a guy?
You do know a guy. Actually, you know. Yes, you know a person in the Khalistan district of Lower Durham. It is a fence, a popular fence, at a club called Mirth, run by the Boromar clan.
Mirth. And by the Boromar clan. Where was the location?
The Khalistan district.
What do we know about the Boromar clan?
They are the biggest crime organization in Sharn, equivalent to the Mafia.
They would also have access to the blast disc.
Yeah, and they're
there's-
halflings.
Yeah, halfling crime family known for the drug trade, smuggling, any kind of bribery, charging people for protection,
Their
all throughout Sharn. And
their recent ownership has changed to a turtle.
not quite, but they are not only the biggest crime organization, but they are also like part tolerated. The Boromar clan is actually a family. Like that is their name, the Boromar. And there is actually a Boromar on the Sharn Council in charge of the city. So they are not only like a criminal organization and super powerful, like they are part of the like political and social structure of Sharn too.
Damn, just like Republicans.
And on that note, we'll take
Wait,
a...
what's his name? What's his name?
Let me pull up the document here. Let's see.
There are no Republicans in chat. Don't worry.
It's a pretty bold assumption. The fence's name in Mirth.
Drop an R in chat if you're a Republican so we can
Do
bully your
not.
ass.
So we can
Don't-
ban
don't-
you.
Is
Okay.
Vulad, not Vlad, but Vulad. Vulad. And they are a Kalishtar.
I remember Vlad from a
Yes,
different.
and Xavier,
they-
you might remember the Club of Mirth and the Fence Vulad.
Oh, yeah.
Same with Travis.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, a turtle.
Is
Came
the
back.
new head.
It took
Logan,
over.
the thing happened again.
Oh, did the thing have? Oh, is it?
I think it's because we pulled up a different page.
We made fun of Republicans.
Oh yeah, we got banned. Sorry.
Are we okay?
Yeah,
I mean,
it came
we're
back.
good now.
There we are.
I think it was just something weird. But yeah. So, is that where you're heading to next then?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Okie doke. So, at that point, we are going to take a few minutes to drink, eat, use the restroom, etc. I guess what I'll do is that way we can chat with people is I'll leave the setup just like this on Twitch. You'll just turn off your cameras, mute yourselves, whatever else if you step away. And we'll return in like 5-ish minutes.
Cool.
Sure.
All you bone daddies and gamers, drop some spooky toilet cats in chat and hold on
You
tight.
Sharn gals, guys, theys and thems.
And turtles. You have to mention the turtles, my friend.
Alright, I'm gonna go pee too.
Rachel, what game are you going to be playing next? That's the real question. Or are you just going to keep on sucking people into holes in that game that you just started? If you are in chat. Nancy Drew on Wednesday and Ooblets on Friday. Nice. Devil face person thing. What is that emote's name actually?
What are you doing, Travis?
I'm taking over the stream. I was
you the
talking
DM
in
now?
chat. I am not the DM now. Actually,
like
I
you're
am
the
the DM.
Oleg is the DM now.
Oleg specifically is the DM now. That seems like a terrible decision, but it's a possibility.
Alright. People in the chat, as you can see up in the top left-hand corner, I have a little party members meter. Help me reach 50 so I can become affiliate. I can stream some amazing D&D content for you. If people lurking in Twitch who do not have an account or are just lurking to lurk, follow me, make an account, get in the chat, let us know, because we love hanging out with you guys. There was something else I was gonna say. Oh, follow Xylo Plays on Twitch and social media. This rad lad here, Xavier,
Hi.
streams all sorts of fun stuff. What are you streaming now most often, more frequently?
So I'm still doing the complete Resident Evil series playthrough. I'm about to start Resident Evil 2. I may do Alien Isolation, possibly.
Thank you for following ASMR Jess.
Yeah.
Jess?
Jess?
Hey, Jess.
Wait, Alan, is that a friend of yours? Or are you
Jessica
just saying-
Hughes.
Oh, hey Jessica Hughes.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that, or are we just saying this is? Are you?
I don't know.
Are we
Jacob
just
can
assigning
maybe
this?
confirm that.
What?
Is ASMR Jess
ASMR
Jessica
Jess.
Hughes?
Yes.
Welcome, Jessica.
Okay, cool.
I told her that she should come watch, and she said, I'll tune in. And she did.
Hey.
Because
Thanks
she's
for
a
tuning
good
in.
friend. She is my homie.
So Xavier, you're doing Resident Evil 2 now, and you're gonna do maybe Alien Isolation if you can get unstuck.
Yeah.
Guys,
I can get the alien
totally...
to stop eating me. I'll stream it.
Good.
I was gonna say we should totally play that new multiplayer one. Like, I forget the like.
Phasmophobia?
Yeah.
I want to. I gotta get a group of people together to play it though.
Xavier and I are gonna start playing Smash together soon.
Dude,
we're gonna get really good at Smash Bros.
I thought we were going to at some point play Breath of the Waifus together.
Oh, that's
right.
right. I have not had a chance to play it since like this weekend.
Yeah, no. There's gonna be a stream where Xavier, I, and whoever else wants to join just gets very intoxicated and answer random questions from chat.
So, Daniel, to answer your question, there's an amazing program/app called Reroll, and it's free, but you can pay for more elements and features of it. It essentially allows you to make a pixelated avatar, fantasy avatar. The full version also allows you to make a character sheet via D&D. In the app as well, and I got in touch with them over the weekend, and they said that we are allowed to use the avatars we produce as long as we give them attribution. And so voila, these amazing pixel avatars were made via Reroll by myself during a long car ride between Illinois and North Carolina. And so yeah, I'm super
I forgive
thankful
you
for
for
that.
not coming to see me while you were in North Carolina, by the way.
Bro,
I mean, it's not like we're in a pandemic or anything.
we drove like 10 hours and got to North Carolina at like 10 p.m., went to a wedding the next day and drove back. Like, what the...
I would have met you at the wedding.
I would have gladly met you at a gas station for 10 minutes to see your beautiful face, but it's fine.
Okay, alright then. But yeah,
You say that. I'm so serious.
I'm so serious.
Logan, just let us smell your hair. Just once, it's been so long.
Sam Lyle said he'll suck the shampoo out of my hair.
Ew.
That's absolutely something I can hear Sam Lyle saying.
Yes, Daniel, another rabbit hole. I put far too many hours into making characters in Reroll. It's so much freaking fun. It's so fun.
True.
And yeah, I hope to get some
Underrepresented
NPC art in the future as well for anyone important that comes up. So
Well, now we gotta have Love Withers.
now you gotta, all in her clumsy self. So, the 5 of you make your way over. Alan, that got me. Pumpkin toilet cat. That's good.
Spooky toilet cat.
Spooky. So you make your way.
Toilet cat.
I assume you go find Oleg's Sky Coach and fly over to the Calistan district.
In style.
In
Yeah.
style.
I would make sure to ask Oleg, where'd you get a hold of one of these? This is impressive.
It's been blown up by a fireball. I'm just kidding. It hasn't.
I think didn't we get this off of I don't actually
Craigslist?
remember. Oh no, we somebody attacked us and tried to kill us, and so we got their Sky Coach.
Yes, we got it at a
They donated it to
second-hand
us.
Yeah,
I just write down stolen vehicle.
No,
He has
it
the
is-
paperwork.
I have the paperwork. It's in my name. It is
I see
actually in
him
my
writing. I see him writing this and take a deep sigh.
It is in my name. It is officially mine.
I just think to myself, this is going to be such a good story.
So the 5 of you in Oleg, the Kundurak Sky Coach, it's now like, what did I say? Like 2 o'clock? It's like 3:30, getting close to 4 o'clock, as you head over to the Calistan district. You were flying over to the Calistan district, and it's familiar territory to Spike, being in Lower Dura. As you get down there, it is, Lower Dura. It's grimy. Calistan is grimy and full of all these seedy businesses, but you get a strange sense of unconditional safety as you start to notice like Boromar clan enforcers walking around. Like they kind of stick out a little bit. And they especially keep an eye on like Oleg and Varian, seeing all the house garb and just you sticking out in this lower portion of the city. They just keep an eye out, not in an aggressive way, but they just watch.
I'm glad they're not looking at me. That's all I gotta say.
I nervously smile.
I non-nervously, very excitedly smile.
Holding your gun.
That's one of the first times I've seen Oleg truly smile, and I am scared.
Khalistan, it's a lot of businesses, a lot of poor businesses, having specialties that cater to the surrounding lower city. You see a few seedy bars and restaurants, and you start walking until you see a club called Mirth, built in sort of connected to one of the towers that rises up through Dura. It's nicer than all the other buildings, a beautiful calligraphy sign on the front. The bodyguard outside is actually a Boromar enforcer who is wearing sort of a darker gray turtleneck, shaded sunglasses, buzzed haircut, big dimpled chin, just standing there looking up at all the people coming up at the front door. As you are approaching up, there's a long line waiting to get into Mirth, even though it's like 4:30 in the afternoon. Would you like to wait in line?
I have a question. How much does it cost to do the I know a guy thing?
You pretty much just get one per session.
Can I use the I know a guy to I know the enforcer at the door? Like he spits some tips and things, so I can be like, "Hey, Donnie, let me in."
Yes. So you recognize this Boromar enforcer individual, and you know, Donnie has not always been the bodyguard at Mirth. In fact, in the past he's been more of just a messenger. And you can tell by his body language he's excited to be this bouncer. He's gotten an upgrade, a promotion. And as you approach,
I think I know why.
You think you know why as well. And
I think Carson knows why.
He sees you approaching, and there is a group of like mid-wealthy people, like people who are not from the lower city, standing in line, waiting to get in.
I just walked straight to the front of the line. I just gestured to everyone.
Says, "Mr. Damon, how have you been, bud? I haven't seen you in a while."
Donnie, my friend, doing well. Good to see you, doing well for yourself.
Absolutely. What brings you to, our end of the city?
Oh, you know, looking for the scoop as always. Not gonna stir up any trouble, don't worry, just looking around.
Make a persuasion check for me.
23.
You'll love to see it.
Says, and you can vouch for your friends here?
They're getting their way up to being friends, colleagues at this point, but we will see.
But you vouch for them.
Absolutely.
He turns to look at each of you and kind of scans you up and down. He stops at you, Wendolyn, like he might recognize you, and then keeps moving on. Then he stops at you, Spike. Says,
"Got my hat."
"I've heard of you. I'm pretty sure you."
The Iron Hunter.
I'm pretty sure you may have got my cousin a few weeks back, but don't worry, she was kind of the worst. So won't hold it against you.
Hey, well, you know what there's an old cowboy saying that blood may be thicker than water, but it don't taste as sweet.
Did they say that? Why are people drinking blood?
Okay,
It's
for
a
one thing,
cowboy.
don't judge. And also, how is water sweet?
Okay, here's what's
I'm
about
not
to happen.
talking to you, Oleg.
Xavier, I need you to make a persuasion check for me. Depending on how high you roll will determine what effect this has on my world building.
Wow.
Oh,
Is
no.
it to be a phrase that everyone knows?
I rolled an 8.
Okay, that's fine. Because I don't think I've heard that one before, but as long as you aren't here on your normal business, I mean, I can let you guys right in.
Thank you, Donnie.
And so he
Impeccable work as always.
pushes back the mid-city people and lets you guys in. And I was gonna say, Xavier, if you rolled like nat 20 or like it's higher than a 25 or something, it was gonna be canon that vampires were equivalent to cowboys, and so any vampire you may meet ever is gonna be a cowboy also. So
The
rather than like the
blood.
traditional gothic like slicked back black hair, they're gonna be cowboys instead.
Oh, if I had inspiration, man.
Music of the night.
Can I donate a point of inspiration?
If you would like, yes, you can inspire Spike as like he
God,
says
what-
that line, and you're like, yeah, I've heard that. So Spike, if you want to make another persuasion check for me.
Honestly-
what a Curse of Strahd campaign that would make.
Honestly, vampire cowboys sounds so cool. Like, what if you did like a, what was it? Like what is the thing that Critical Role did? Their cowboy thing. They're like Western style RPG.
Oh,
Just
undead
do that,
but
but
with vampires.
yeah, and Deadwood, but with like cowboy
Cowboys and
vampires.
All right, Xavier, what'd you get?
Okay. With persuasion, it's a 21.
Okay.
Thank you, Gwendolyn.
So it's not enough to change the course of history and the culture of vampires. But Donnie most definitely is going to take that to heart and start sharing that around to everyone. So you guys enter into Mirth. However, as you guys are entering, probably Varian, you hear a like crunch of rock and stone behind you, and you see that a stone gargoyle, kind of demonic, animalistic looking face, wings, claws, and all the such, lands on like a balcony across the street, looks dead at your group, and goes, "Spike, psst, hey!" But Spike has already entered into the club.
Did we all hear that?
Just Varian, with his high
I'm-
passive skills.
No.
I'm gonna whisper into my hand and message Spike and just. I think you have a friend out here.
Spike, you peek your head out the door and you see a gargoyle on the opposite tower across the street, who's looking at you, going, "Hey, Spike, come here, man. Come here. Hey, bud, got a message. Come on. Ain't got all day. Come on."
Okay, well, first of all, you don't talk to me that type of way. I mean, you're not my friend. But let me go
It's your
see what
message.
the,
I mean, I'll leave. I don't.
let me see what this guy wants. All right, fine. And I walk over to him.
You walk over and this large stone gargoyle says, "Ah, thank God. All right, my name's Denise. And I got a message for you."
Hello, Denise.
Hello, Denise. Says, Brawl asked me to deliver a message for you.
Oh, Brawl. All right. Well, what's the message?
He said that, he recently was doing a job, he's, with the Finders Guild, he's finding things, he was doing a job, and yada yada yada, he has a gift for you. And if you're interested, it's not free, you'll owe him a favor, but he's got a gift for you over in Cog's Gate. It's a warehouse, it's over on, Daisy Lane, let's see here, and looking at, like, what seems to be literally a brick. Like, not like something shaped like a brick, like literally a brick in Denise's hand that she's looking at. It says, Daisy Lane, let's see, Warehouse G, space 14. So Daisy Lane 14G. You got that? He said meet him there tonight at about 10 o'clock if you're interested.
Tonight, 10 o'clock? Well, alright, yeah. Did he say how much it's gonna cost?
Oh, it's just a favor. You'll just owe him one.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay, well, yeah.
Perfect.
I'll do it.
And Denise holds the brick out to you. And it's a brick. It has like the holes in it and stuff. And Denise says, just put your thumb right there in that hole.
I don't like this, but okay.
You put your thumb in the hole. Denise starts laughing and says, it doesn't do anything. It's just a fucking brick, and tosses it to the side. Says, I'll let Brawl know that you'll be there. And Denise sails up into the air.
I'll get you next time, Denise.
And so the messaging gargoyle of House Thrash flies away to return to Brawl wherever he may be, and you can go about your business in Mirth.
God, I thought it was like, that dude's Palm Pilot or something. You know?
This is my BlackBerry.
Oh my god.
He's got a twig stylus.
So, Denise flies away. You guys enter into Mirth. And Mirth is a 2-story club. What Mirth is most well known for in the... yes, Jacob?
My sister just said that's what she said at the brick.
Putting your thumb in the hole? I mean, that's what I've heard too. Just put your thumb right in there.
I've never been more proud to be your brother. Thank you.
I'm waiting for the response from Rachel. Like, no.
I'll just give Carly a point of inspiration for that.
She deserves it.
Yeah, she deserves
Oh,
it.
sure.
So, you guys enter into Mirth, and Spike Wendelin, what Mirth is most known for is its gambling and games. There's plenty of alcohol and food available. On the first floor, there are kegs set out, and it's sort of a honor system. You get a drink from the keg, you put down a few silver pieces into a lockbox. There's a bar for specialty drinks. There is a bead curtain that leads back to some back VIP hallway. Naturally, with Boromar thugs standing on either side. These two burly halfling individuals. And you see more halfling Boromars, their turtlenecks, their sunglasses, walking around the main floor. And then upstairs, there's a balcony, or a mezzanine level, that overlooks the bar floor, where there are gambling tables galore. All sorts of variety of card games, dice games, available to go and bet. Some of them are run by the Boromar clan, some are more localized, and it's just people sitting down to play games and bet money. And
Is this like a low light kind of aesthetic?
oh, I'm
or is
sure
it
it
like-
is. I'm sure it is.
Okay.
And Spike, you
Logan?
know that. Yes, Jacob.
I wanted to say that I remember something we talked about is that I had tried to break a story in the story in my life for someone else that I loved, and when we were talking about backstory things, and I couldn't report the story live, I'd like it to be something with the Boromir clan.
Perfect.
I think that'd be interesting.
That's perfect. So you have a most definite, tenuous relationship with the Boromar clan. Whether they remember you or not, we will find out. But Spike, you know that Vulad, the Kalashtar fence for the Boromar clan here in Mirth, is in some VIP area, but you don't necessarily recall how to get there, or what you need to do to find him. You just know this is where he operates. And the club is now at your disposal.
I'm gonna go up to the bartender.
I'll accompany Spike.
Okay. So the two...
And as we approach, I will give Spike a bardic inspiration.
Ooh.
And because of the way my bardic inspiration works, even if Spike fails a check, he gets to keep his bardic inspiration until he succeeds.
Oh, that's amazing.
What bard are you?
So, College of Eloquence.
Gotta love it.
So... Yeah, that's fine. So you walk over to the bartender, who is also a halfling. She has hair all tossed over to one side, pulled back behind her ear, wearing a typical bartender smock, but is very quickly and deftly moving glasses, grabbing bottles, taking orders. But the moment that you walk up and she looks at you, even though she's doing all sorts of other shit with her hands, you have her attention. She is here in the moment with you. She says, "Hey there, my name's Thalia. I'm the bartender here. What can I get you? Any specialty drinks, a meal? What can I do for you?"
I'll have some dwarven whiskey, the usual.
On the rocks?
No rocks.
Pours it into a glass, hands it to you, and then turns to you, Spike, and says, "And what can I get you, handsome?"
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
God. Oh, every time.
On a related note, I was talking to someone about how when boys get a compliment, they automatically have no idea how to respond, just because no one ever compliments men in that way.
And I imagine especially, like, Spike, a warforged, a robot, like, gets a compliment and he's like, what?
Remember that movie Inside Out? It's like, this is now a core memory. We'll always go back to this moment.
This moment.
That time when I was 10 and someone said I was cute. Core memory.
So Thalia looks at you. Take your order.
Well, I have one thing I can't really taste, so give me the strongest thing you got. Maybe it'll happen. I don't know. Second thing, I'm looking for an old friend. Vulad. Know where I can find him.
She starts like getting all the stuff to make you a drink, and she looks at you and says, "I haven't seen him here in some time."
I'm gonna have to insight check that one.
Making it.
Remember, you bardic.
Oh yeah, bardic.
How much do I add to that?
It's a D8 at this point.
Nice.
Okay, sweet. Plus insight. Okay, so that's a 23.
Absolutely. She's holding back. She's keeping it from you.
Yes. I haven't seen him in some time. Well, that's kind of strange, cause, well, he told me he'd be here tonight.
Oh, that's crazy. Must have gotten caught up with something.
Yeah, he did say that, didn't he? It's pretty weird.
Well, how could
you
he
wouldn't
get
have to
caught
be
up? Yeah.
lying to us, would you?
Of course not. I don't keep up with all of Valad's business. He might have had a rough trip to the bathroom, or maybe stopped for a late lunch or early dinner or something. I don't know what all he's up to.
Well, which is it? He ain't here. He's in the bathroom. He's eating lunch. I mean,
Maybe just cut the funny business. We both know that Sharn is a city of coin, and I'll put a gold piece on the table. How about we let the coin do the talking, and you follow suit.
She takes the coin. She says, "Oh, that covers your drinks and tip. Anything else I can help you with?"
all right. 30 gold pieces.
I love Travis like slinging his head around.
I'm just thinking about the fact that Oleg's always the one who's just tossing money around.
Giving money around.
And Spike, did you
Oleg's
even
a
put
bad
down?
influence.
Did you even put down the
I'm
money,
just
or
gonna
did you
write this
tell
off as a
him?
job
Did you tell him?
Job expense. I also like this idea that like you guys are over here talking to her, and then Spike sets down his sack of coin, and Oleg hears it and like reels around. What?
My
I
bribe
hear
sense
money.
is tingling.
So, Spike, make a persuasion check with advantage, obviously.
If you allow, I'll hit him with that bardic inspiration.
Oh yeah, you still have the bardic inspiration.
Well, he succeeded on that last check. He used it, so it's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
It only maintains if he
Then
fails. the
before
check.
Xavier says his number, if you would like to inspire him once more, you can.
I think he'll be okay. I believe in him.
Good job. Because it's an unnatural 20.
I knew it.
Ooh.
See how she does.
Dirty 20.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, before you do that, I want to read something real quick.
Oh no. Sidebar. I know DMs. It's
It's
very
okay. I have
scary
a.
to DM for bards and spellcasters and stuff. It's a blast. I don't know what to tell you. It's so much fun. I've never had more fun DMing than when it's almost all spellcasters.
So there's a thing I can do as a bonus action that lets me use a bardic inspiration to roll an inspiration die, and they subtract it from a saving throw. Now this is, I guess, is a contested check, so it's not the same thing, but I can do that to like. It's like a reverse inspiration thing for enemies.
I hear you. Here's
That'd be
what
up to
we'll
you.
do. You're a bard. You're very charismatic. So he is bribing. If you would like to do that, just make a charisma check. And we'll call it a DC 15. And if you succeed, you can do that. Because it makes sense in this situation.
I rolled a 15, so yes.
Perfect. So as Spike is placing down his bribe, you also, using your own honeyed words, instill a bit of doubt in her, sort of trip her up. So go ahead and roll your anti-bardic inspiration on her.
That's an 8, so minus 8.
Amazing. So there's no
Never put
chance
two charisma
there.
characters on the same person, or
Never.
there's no hope.
So,
Xavier and I IRL.
So,
Mhm.
Oleg, Wendelin, and Varian, is there anything you would like to do while they are chatting up the bartender? Or do you just want to let them work their magic, literally?
I want to play a game.
I don't know. Maybe look for anybody that appears to have loose lips.
Yeah, at the craps table.
You just
Yeah.
walk up and say, "You look like you have a loose."
That's certain.
Get the curse table.
So, Varian, if you'll make an insight check,
Maybe a certain gross weirdo over there licking his
a
teeth.
certain gross weirdo, and Wendelin, we'll say you just plop down at a gambling table.
That's funny.
Wendelin, just roll
That's
a
a lot.
d20 for me.
That's the first nat 20 of this stream.
Hell yeah, brother.
Drop some 20s in the chat, gamers.
Jesus.
Yeah, gamers. If you think
I
nat
got a
20s are super
13.
cool,
So
20 gamers in the chat.
Varian, you're pretty acute when it comes to finding just the right person to talk to. You pick around at certain people, the people who are too drunk to form coherent thoughts, the people who are not drunk enough to tell you what you need to know, the people who are just right in between but aren't the right like social class you need to be speaking to. And you find yourself up at a certain dice table with a certain human man habitually licking his teeth and lips and eyes like a shark. Wendelin, you plop down at the nearest craps table that you can. You play a few rounds. You walk away with 5 silver pieces.
Yeah.
So, Oleg, did you just want to follow along, or do you just want to hang out?
I'll just be hanging out. Yeah, I'll just hang out.
So Oleg hanging out. The other two go upstairs and gamble and talk around. The two downstairs keep talking to the bartender. Oleg, you're standing downstairs, and you watch as the conversation between your two charismatic party members and the bartender. She sort of nods her head, leans over the bar, leans back, and gestures over to the bead curtain. As Thalia leans over to you, Donovan and Spike, she says, "Alright, I'll let you through, but next time, just tell me. I have an appointment. I'll let you down. Easy to remember."
Oh, can I get my gold back?
Oh, absolutely not. She takes it and puts it on the bar.
Fair enough.
I go ahead, and as soon as she turns to go back to her work, I'll sip a little bit of my drink, and I'll slip Spike the money that he just spent, and I'll go, "Don't worry, I'll just write it off back at the press as a work expense. It happens." And I pat Spike on the back.
So Wendelin, you are engaged with your game. Varian, you are engaged with looking at this man who's licking his lips and teeth. But you can see over the banister, Spike and Donovan leaving the bar. Oleg, you see them leaving the bar and them sort of getting ready to move on elsewhere.
I will follow. And I guess I'll kind of wave down the other two, just kind of like, out. Let's get going.
I grab my money and run.
Cool.
5 silver.
I'm gonna mentally mark this gross weirdo to perhaps press for information later.
Jeez.
All right. So
I'll ask about any turtles that have been.
any turtles
already-
that have been by recently. So the 5 of you meet downstairs. You walk over to the bead curtain. The two
There have been
enforcers.
2 tiefling eloquence bards to come through here in the past 2 weeks.
Weird. So the two thugs turn over to Thalia. She nods. They let you through the bead curtain down the hallway. And you are taken to a large VIP room that is very elegantly decorated. It's separated essentially by thin walls into compartments. As you are entered into this room, one of the thugs nearby, and they're still dressed in the black turtlenecks and shades, but specifically, the enforcers that are in this VIP room also have a gold chain around their neck.
Does that mean anything?
Turtleneck and chain. Yeah.
You're not sure.
Okay.
Is there like some kind
of mafia picture? But all I can think of is the Lonely Island.
Lonely Island. I just had
And
anyway.
all you can really gather is that there might be a difference between these enforcers and the enforcers outside, but other than that, I'm not too sure.
That's kind of what I was getting at, is if that was like a symbol of rank, if that was something that'd be common knowledge.
Not necessarily
or
common
just-
knowledge, but you can probably deduce that.
At level 6, you get a turtleneck.
You enter into the this chamber divided into what seems to be 4 compartments. I would like each of you to make a charisma check. And if you're proficient
Literally?
in persuasion or deception, you may apply one of those.
Oh, you were literally speaking
And,
music to my ears.
To paint a picture, you're effectively walking in here and trying not to look like narcs. So, all
like you said,
5 of
persuasion or deception?
yeah. Because you're walking into this VIP chamber, a group of 5 of you, 2 of you nobles, 3 of you not really, and some of you don't really know where exactly you're going, and so yeah.
Can I take off my house patch and just tuck it in my pocket?
Sure.
Would I
could do
be
that
able, before we go in there, would I be able to see if any one of our parties looking especially nervous at this certain situation?
Essentially, Varian is always looking nervous.
Hey,
I will tap Bavarian on the back and just shoot him a wink and be like, "Be relaxed. It'll be okay." And you're bardically inspired.
Play it cool.
So if you need to add a bardic inspiration die to your charisma check, you may.
Or deception or persuasion. Yeah, right?
Sure.
Logan,
all right.
Logan, how do I spend my points again?
Redeem.
Yes, asterisk redeem, and then inspire, flashback, or something happens without space. So if you're wanting to inspire yourself...
Most definitely.
I assume so. So yeah, just go ahead and burn that
yeah!
exclamation point, redeem, inspire. Yep. So make that check again.
Okay, well,
I'm really
I never rolled it the
excited.
first time. Just,
Oh, you just went... It was a precautionary inspiration.
I just know like a little bit too much.
And if you don't spend it, you can save
I
it for
hate
later.
me. I rolled a 19.
You can save it if you wanted to. You can save the point of inspiration. yeah.
Okay.
It's just
All
like
right,
the
cool.
economy thing. So Oleg, what was your total?
19.
Wendelin, what was your total?
16.
16.
Do I have
And Varian, what was your total?
22.
22. Nice. Donovan.
It was a nat 20 for a 30.
Yeah, I figured. Spike.
21.
21. Okay. Good all around. So as you walk into this unknown space, not knowing where you are, where you're supposed to be going, and also just a mishmash of people, you play it cool. You act relaxed. You take a quick account of everything. So
We
this
all have
room-
sunglasses.
They all have sunglasses. This room is divided into 4 compartments, separated by essentially a folding wall in a way. One of them you see is a game of poker. Pretty standard. However, you see that they are betting very large amounts. Like stacks of gold pieces. And the people playing are not Lower Dura, not Lower City. These are middle to upper city people. And Oleg, with your sort of canvassing for your house and your family, rubbing elbows with all the other people in Mithril Tower in the upper city, you might recognize one of these people. Like these are some wealthy people in here gambling.
Would this be the first time I would have been in this room?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
There's another chamber that you see is just covered in a haze of smoke. You glance in, you do your best to peer in, and it seems to be sort of a smoking and drinking lounge, comfortable chairs, tables, cabinets of wine, boxes of cigars on tables. You see another compartment, seems to be more of a break room. You see some of the Boromar thugs in their turtlenecks, except they've taken their sunglasses off and they're sitting on tables. And they're sitting there playing just a game of cards, not betting anything. You may pick up a bit of conversation, talking about like, yeah, Delilah and I, we're going to the, that park in Upper City. What's it called? Oh yeah, Sky Edge. Yeah, it's a lovely place. And they're just, chatting. So it's some sort of break room.
He's cheating on Delilah. Don't let her know.
And then finally, you glance into one compartment, and you see that the curtain is drawn across its entrance. But you can peek through a crack. Who would be the peeker of the group? Who would be peeking through the crack of this curtain?
Is this a stealth thing?
It's just whoever would be the likely one to do it.
Oh, I'd be snooping.
Donovan, you peek through this curtain, and you see what looks like an office. Bookshelves, a beautiful desk. But you see on the other side of the desk a vaguely human-looking figure. But you see this ethereal, lavender-colored gleam in their eye. And this almost vacant presence that signifies them as Kalishtar. Sitting behind the desk. And they're sitting across from a noble individual. An older man, maybe middle-aged, elven, wearing very fine red and gold robes, sitting on the other side of the desk, and they seem to have some very, very beautiful ring on a little cushioned pillow on the desk. And they're just chatting, talking about like, yeah, so I got this from my uncle. He passed away just a couple days ago, and just talking idly
So
about.
this is the fence.
This seems to be the fence.
I will peek in, recognize what it is, and I will look at everyone and just kind of like nod my head as in like, this is the guy we're looking for. This is the guy.
In the time that this is happening, can Oleg, I don't want to roleplay it or anything, but I would really like to kind of, how much money are we talking about at this poker table?
Make an investigation check.
Sure.
Which I know you're good at.
That's going to be a 16.
The
I'm rolling terribly
Kundarak
today.
family. You are the banking family. You keep shit safe. You keep shit on lock. You know money when you see it. And you see that the buy-in for this table that you're dealing with is 150 gold pieces.
Cool.
However, you do notice that some people, instead of doing the 150 gold, have instead placed down expensive pieces of jewelry. And so instead of 150 gold, you'll see like a platinum bracelet that is easily worth 200 gold pieces. That's just sitting on the table.
Can I would like to, one, rub elbows with them, and two, I would like to go in for a couple rounds.
Ooh.
To kind of get into the rubbing elbows.
So, Donovan's peeking through the fence curtain. Oleg is eyeing the poker table and is making moves to go in. What do the other three of you want to do?
If I had 6 more gold, I could join that table.
We got a little bit lucky in some of our recent endeavors.
I'm gonna minor illusion a cigarette and just and anytime somebody passes by, I'm gonna play it cool and just be like,
What are you looking
Daddy-o.
at?
Yeah, Daddy-o.
Oh no.
Alright, and a Spike, what would you like to do?
I was gonna say I hang out with Varian, but when I hear her say that, I immediately I get like as far away from him as possible.
Where you going, Slick?
No, I just speed up. I'm like, and I just like stand on the other end of the corner. I want to. I'm trying to think of. I'm looking at all my spells. And I'm like, this is where having all damage spells come in handy. Because I don't want to Eldritch Blast anything right now. Can I just want to keep a lookout for things. Can I keep a lookout for? Can I check and see if anyone's cheating?
Oh, absolutely, you may. So, Alan, what did you say you wanted to do?
I want to go to Varian and ask if I can borrow 6 gold so I can do the buy-in.
Sure thing, cool cat.
Are you really?
Okay, Daddy-o.
You do know that this doesn't. No. That means you wouldn't be able to bet at all.
Well, no,
what?
it'll be okay. No, he can. If she can make the buy-in, then she'll be okay.
Make the ante, but nothing
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, that's what I'm
okay.
saying.
You need 6? Sure.
Yeah.
So you loan Wendelin 6 gold, and to not take too much time on fake gambling, I will let you two decide. As you walk in, rub elbows, you place your buy-in. The dealer, that was the word, is also a Boromar halfling. She takes your buy-ins, you take your seats around all these other wealthy nobles. Oleg, you see, not, like, right next to you, a not a dragon-marked individual, but a wealthy woman named Zala. She's older, human, so probably in her late 60s, early 70s, short gray silver hair. Conjure gold. Sitting next to you, she says, "Oh, Oleg, I did not know you ever came here to partake."
It is my first time.
Really? And she does like the old lady, like touches your arm and stuff, like wraps her arm around yours. And you do notice that she's like 2 glasses of wine in.
Drunk grandma.
Drunk grandma. But she has placed
You
down,
all know the one.
Yeah, but she has her buy-in is a like single platinum ring. And she has several others on the rest of her fingers and like ears and stuff, so she's fine. But I will let the 2 gamblers, you two, decide how you want to play poker. If you would like to make an educated gambles and bets and plays, you can make an intelligence check. If you would like to lie and deceive, you can make a charisma check. If you want to just play by your gut and do what you think, you can make a wisdom check. Or you can make a dexterity check to cheat.
I would personally like to use my intelligence.
Go for it. Make an intelligence check for me.
Okay. This is why I did the inspiration specific. Okay. Let's hope for the best here. Just straight intelligence.
Just straight intelligence. And you still have that point of inspiration, if yeah.
I
saw the...
rolled. I'm trying to think if like an average roll is worth. No, I'll do it again.
Okay, so you burn your point.
We're on my point of inspiration. Okay, 14.
14.
So not terrible, not great.
Not terrible, not great. You're doing okay. You're pretty much break even by the end, so you don't lose anything, you don't win anything.
That's perfectly. That is a success in my book.
And the entire time, Zala, she's sitting next to you. She is gabbing about all the drama in Mithril Tower that you do not bother yourself with. Talking about how Carol, she's been cheating on her husband recently with some young thing from the middle city. I mean, I just cannot believe. But I mean, I can't blame her. I mean, I've had my fair share of fooling around, but I mean, I can't believe she would do that to Philip. He is just a doll. She is lucky to have him. And it's just talking the entire time, which might be why you did not do great. But
from across the room, I just see a vein in Oleg's temple pulsing.
He has
reaches for his gun, like
white knuckle grip on his pistol at his.
I actually imagine opposite of that. Honestly, I imagine Oleg completely ignoring everything, like not even acknowledging. He maybe says a couple times just to continue the conversation.
She thinks you are listening so well, and so she like holds on to you the entire game. And
I never stop nodding. I do the like.
She starts getting a little too friendly. But Wendelin, at the opposite end of the table, how do you want to play the next few hands?
Oh man.
With your massive
See,
buy-in.
my highest is dexterity, but I don't know if Wendelin would cheat. You know? Oh man. What was the wisdom one you said?
That's sort of
Based
just
on what?
playing by your gut, like doing what you think is right. Also, wisdom could also be playing off of the other people, like whatever they do, sort of using insight to make plays off of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll do that
Okay.
instead.
So roll a wisdom check for me.
17.
17. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're drowning out this upper city bullshit that Oleg is also drowning out off to the side.
Is this lady like the only one talking at the table?
For the most part, she's talking at least louder than everyone else.
Okay.
You're sitting next to this, like, middle-aged gnomish man. Big, bushy sideburns, but clean-shaven everywhere else. Very well-dressed and fairly handsome, but he looks a bit younger than he actually might be. But he's chatting with you, getting to know you. You learn that his name is Telltale, and he likes to make a joke about that, and talking about how his family's always, they've been bards, they've been minstrels, they tell tales, but he's never been one for that. But he kept up with the Telltale name. He's Telltale the Fourth.
Okay.
And
Can
Oh, go ahead.
Can I unbutton the top button of my outfit? A little
That
bit?
plays into exactly what Telltale was thinking, and as you do that, the game goes on, and
I was like, oh, it's a little hot here.
he does that thing where, like, you make a
His
joke.
eyes pop out of his head. And
Yeah,
he goes, oh,
no, not that, but you make a joke, you do something, you make him laugh, and he reaches over and slaps your knee, and then leaves his hand there.
That's so
Ooh.
uncomfortable.
Hey, he's attractive.
He's middle-aged. He's younger than, like, he probably is, or he looks younger than he probably is, but, I mean...
Definitely way older than me.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Is he like...
I mean, that doesn't.
I don't know. Does he sound like a douche? Like, just everything that he's saying.
Make an insight check for me.
Another 17.
You get vibes that he plays the nice guy. Like, I'm so nice, why doesn't everyone love me?
Oh, I want to fight him.
And, like,
man.
he is nice. He has been very friendly,
unowed things.
but he seems to be trying to cash in on that friendliness.
I've never done anything wrong. Why doesn't anyone date me?
I changed
Okay,
my mind.
when
I
he-
actually
when
do
he-
want to use my Eldritch Blast.
And I would
I
say,
wanna fight.
Spike, you're keeping an eye out for people cheating. You don't see anyone cheating by switching out cards or anything like that. You do pick up on that. You also pick up on the old lady rubbing up against Oleg. But Oleg seems to be in a different world right now. Like, he is playing the game.
Okay, then Wendelin is uncomfortable. So when he laughs and like tries to do the hand thing, I will also laugh and do like kind of like a punch in the shoulder kind of move.
But
But
you're
just like
monk.
Yeah.
not too hard, but just like hard enough, you know?
Yeah, hard enough. You control it. I'm not even make you roll. Amazing. So you laugh. You kind of time it perfectly so that he makes a joke, and then you laugh and punch him in the arm. And he's a gnome.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he,
I'd forgotten that part.
so he like, and he's had a bit to drink. He wasn't expecting it. He falls out of his chair at the table. The dealer, she looks over. She looks at you, and I'm sure you share some kind of like understanding. And
He
she
was getting
deals out the
crushed.
next hand as if nothing happened. And you rolled a 17 initially on your wisdom check.
Yeah.
So by the time, like, you and Oleg share a glance after a little while, I'll have you roll, Wendelin, if you'll roll a d6 for me.
D6. That's a 3.
3. So everyone else is betting gold and things like that. So you didn't roll exceptionally high, but you do come out 30 gold pieces richer. And that's after about 20 minutes. 20 to 30 minutes. So you could keep playing. However, Donovan, Spike, Varian, you're still kind of lingering about, mingling, smoking, drinking, whatever else.
Okay, so we get up from the table. I do the very much the like, you know, like gracious, like, oh, thank you very much. Did I find out any? But I also wanted to, while also kind of poking around about, just kind of putting my name out there, kind of making sure that I'm rubbing elbows, that kind of thing. I would also like to have asked anything about this weird killing that's been happening with the houses. Like, if anybody's heard anything about this weird thing that's been happening. Because, like, I'm kind of afraid of what's, happening right now.
All this murder, weird, right?
Crazy, right? Make a persuasion check.
Crazy.
A persuasion check. All right.
God, I know we've
12.
been playing for 3 hours, and that's normally our limit, but I'm just so pumped to play. I'm just so glad to be here.
So I got about as
That's what I said to Carson downstairs. I was like, I'm just happy to be here.
12 is
too,
not
man.
bad. But,
12 is not bad. You rub elbows, talking to Zala next to you.
I would like to talk to the whole table as much as I
whole
can, not
table.
just
Not to just the old lady.
About everybody trying to rub elbows, not just the old lady. Yeah, definitely.
For the most part, everything has happened so recently that most people, or at least these people, haven't heard too much about it.
Great.
I mean, Katarine, Orion, and Tengfe de Lirindar, those happened today. Roughly just a few hours before.
Right.
Yeah, it's still the same day.
I completely
Yeah,
I completely forget.
For all of you watching at home, it is stated in the Eberron book that Eberron as a world is action-packed. And this kind of campaign, where it's a lot of murder mystery, investigative, things can happen. Like, I think most of the investigations these guys have done have happened in the span of, like, 24 hours or less. And so, like, things happen quickly, so an entire day may take 8 sessions, just because there's so much to do in such a short amount of time. So
sometimes
the
I
3
get nervous
on airplanes. So the latter of the 2 of 3 murders have happened today. They did hear about the one of the House Thrashk dignitary. However, it was, as you have heard from party members and whoever else you've spoken to, it was hushed so quickly and paid off to not be reported on, that word has not really gotten, like, other than murmurings and whisperings in the streets. A lot of people, especially in the upper city, who do not have their ear to the sidewalk, do not have an idea of what's happened yet. So talk about the murders and stuff, people believe you and they say, oh, that's horrible, I can't believe that. But they don't have the keen eye to see or question if those might be related or not.
I also ask, I know this is probably stretching it a little bit, and I apologize for the time, but I also ask if, like, somebody, if they know anybody who hung out with those 2 particular people. Like, if they had seen those people together or anything of that sort. Just at parties and whatnot, kind of casually talking about, like, they were hanging out and whatnot. Like, do you know anybody who kind of knows them? Maybe from the I don't have the quick link to Curse of Strahd, but not to
I was like, what? I was like, Curse of Strahd? What the fuck?
Sorry.
There's a vampire here?
Yes.
Yes, Strahd's at the other end of the table.
He walked in with his spurs jangling.
Either House
Count Strahd von Zarevich tips his 10-gallon hat toward you.
Well, now he's an oil baron.
Y'all heard about Barovia?
Back in Barovia.
Either House Vidalis, House Kenneth, not Kenneth, House Vidalis, House Galanda, or House Drosco are kind of who I'm asking maybe hung out with those kind of people. If they know, like, you know, maybe friends of them or anything like that.
I mean, I'll say with the other, like, 4 or 5 people around this table, you get a, like, slew of answers. And to level with you, Travis, House Lyrandar and House Orient, they're both sort of travel, communication, and transportation-based houses. So they do a lot of dealings with all the other houses who open businesses in their outposts and things. And so you get a slew of answers like, oh yeah, they spoke to Carlos Vidalis. He was amazing. Oh yeah, she spoke to Janice Vidalis, and you know, you get a slew of stuff. Nothing concrete
really
or telling. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, it's worth a try.
Worth a try.
And that was and I kind of slide out of their DMs at this point.
As you go to get up, the old lady Zala, she does not let your arm go. She holds you in place.
Cut it off.
I'm used to this kind of thing at dinner parties with the family to some extent. Just like people getting a little bit overly excited and drunk and just being, and I kind of like, say, you know, you are a beautiful woman, and there will be plenty of opportunities for other people to talk to you, but I must go.
Make a
Let
persuasion
go of me,
check.
you ugly broad.
I just called her beautiful.
DC 15 because she's hooked.
16. Dope.
Saved by the dice.
Yeah, she says, okay, alright. I mean, will I see you at the Kenneth Garden party next weekend?
It's kind of doubtful, but we'll see.
I'll save you a seat.
Thank you. I appreciate the. Yeah. I say it exactly
I
like that.
appreciate the it leaves. The gnome, he learned his lesson. He did not say another word to you, Wendell. He just sat there quietly and placed his bets. He didn't say another word.
I kind of tease him a bit, doing some like slight movements that look like I'm about to hit again, kind of thing. Just like reaching for my water.
Yeah, or like how poker games, like you tap the table to check or something. You like smack the shit out of the table and scare him. Just like check. So you leave with your earnings. You guys regroup sort of in this antechamber area. In the meantime, the noble who was dealing with Vlad on whatever this ring was, he exits. The curtain stays closed for a few more moments, and as the two gamblers reappear, Vlad, he walks over, opens up the curtain, sees you all, says, oh, busy evening, alright, who's next?
I believe we all would like to have a conversation with you, if you don't mind.
Oh, please come in. And he escorts you into this office area, bookshelves, tables, and the like, or desk and chairs. You all sit down. He says, all right, so how can I help you?
I kind of nudge Spike a little bit.
Goliath. Remember me?
It takes him a second to recognize his own name through your accent. He's wearing sort of that like cushioned quilted like smoker's jacket, slicked back hair, very fair, pale skin. He takes like a handkerchief out of his breast pocket, dabs at his forehead. Yes, Spike. Yes, it's been a while. Yes.
It's been a
hi.
while.
How you doing, bud? You look good. I like the jacket.
Thank you. It's been great. How can I help you?
My friend Oleg here. He has one eyebrow.
Oleg goes.
And
You wanna know?
yeah, you reach up and you feel there's no hair on the right side of your eyebrow.
Can one of you magic people? I mean, I'm also a magic person, but like, could you fix this? Not by magic illusion, just by like, do you have miracle glow?
I got you. I got you.
Anyway.
I can do something for this. And I take my quill and I just go.
You draw on an eyebrow.
I had the same thought.
Vlad sits there in
don't.
just astonishment.
I minor illusion some little like motes of magic coming off the quill.
That's better than me. I was gonna spray paint.
I cannot tell you. A quill isn't exactly something you can magic mark. What kind of quills have you? You poke me one
Just
time with
stick
a
and
quill.
poke.
I grab your
It's
hand.
Sharn, it's magic.
It's an expo quill.
Okay, I will.
It's a mage hand. The mage hand does it, not me.
I literally just as you poke me with the quill, I grab the quill, just take a knife from my pocket, shave off the other eyebrow, and then toss it down.
I like it. You made a statement here.
Okay, well, my friend Oleg has no eyebrows.
And we're a bit concerned about the events that led to this situation.
Exactly. Now, Vulak. You ever heard of something that can just not like a huge bomb, but just something small, like a bomb in a disc form, like an exploding disc.
I think the words you're looking for is a blasted disc. Now I cannot let it go unnoticed. I am an individual of style and presentation, and I just need us all to agree that your friend Oleg cannot pull off the no eyebrows look. Can we all agree on that?
Yes, I can agree.
I mean, it's already
100%.
too late. It was better than the one eyebrow, no? I mean, it was...
I know someone who can help you with that. I'll hook you up after.
Are they going to magic marker it?
No, they can just magically make them grow back.
Oh, thank God.
As long as we
Thank
all
God.
can agree that is unsettling and horrifying.
It's the worst I've ever
Can I
seen.
Wait,
sneak
wait,
up?
did you just
Out in the open, yes, yes.
did you just give me the biggest compliment of my life?
If that is what you're going for, that is amazing. You have pulled it off, mate. It's just perfect.
I whispered to Spike, he's taking it better than I thought.
But
I
a
thought he was gonna shoot someone.
blast disc, yes.
Me too.
Arcane weapon used in the last war. I am familiar with the concept.
Mm-hmm.
Are you interested in such an item?
I guess we're more interested in the kind of person that would purchase that kind of item, if you catch my meaning.
And where they might have purchased it from.
Vlad readjusts and says, "No, I'm not normally one to rat on my buyers. In fact, that's a creed of offense."
They tried to kill me. They got rid of the one eyebrow.
That was his favorite eyebrow too.
Several
it was-
attempts
It was
on
definitely one of them, yes.
several attempts on members of Dragonmarked houses, including our dear Oleg today. I'm not sure that's the kind of heat you'd want as a fence. Am I correct?
Well,
Food
I mean,
bag?
you know the Dragonmark houses are very powerful, and if they find out that you had something to do with the fact that some of their members have been dying, wouldn't look good on you, would it?
Who said
Like,
that I had anything to do with it? I'm just familiar with the concept of a blast disc.
Of course, yeah, and
Mhm.
we're not at all here today to interrupt in any way uh, your organization here. We're just interested in any information you could provide us with.
Off
Does
the
that
record,
sound-
of course.
Of course. Agreeable?
Make a persuasion check, Varian.
Can can Donovan make it, or can he aid me at least?
Can I do something to help?
I'll make it if you let me.
Yes, if Donovan, you want to just make a persuasion check, even you saying off the record, even though it may have been sincere, it was enough to, you can see, make them clam up some, like just the possibility of it not being like off the record.
Okay. So I will make it. It's 23.
You have
Unless someone was
reliable
helping
talent.
me.
You have reliable talent at this point, don't you?
That's a rogue thing. This is just a.
Oh,
Bard thing.
You essentially get that for persuasion and deception at level 3.
yeah, that's true.
Pretty much. So the lad puts both of his hands on his desk and says, "Now, before I go on giving any information, I need to let you know, and I need you to know before we continue this transaction, as it were. Alira Boromar, she is as you know, a Sharn counselor, and the primary counselor of Lower Dura, all of Lower Dura. If she finds out that you are using her own people and her own constituents to cause trouble, that would not be in your favor. Especially those of you who operate out of Lower Dura, and those of you from such powerful houses. Having such an enemy on your side would not bode well. I just need you to know that before we continue, before you use any information I may provide you for ill."
We're not here to make any enemies today, nor to do any ill.
I mean,
Moulad, are you threatening us?
You know, I've
It's
been
absolutely
threatened
a
before.
threat.
I've been threatened before by your family, and I think I've decided that I don't really care. So go ahead and tell us what you need to say.
we won't cause trouble, except for the person who blew off my eyebrow. That person may have issues, but nobody else, as far as I'm aware.
That's agreeable.
If you have somebody bringing unwanted attention onto your organization, think of it like you're doing us, we're doing you a favor.
Or house cleaning.
Exactly.
You see Vlad chuckles a bit. It says, someone has recently purchased a blast disc from me. I don't think it's going to do you any good, though. And pulls out essentially a receipt and hands it over to you. and you see one of the longest names any of you have ever seen. It is a receipt for a single blast disc, with a designation for a fireball, an explosive. And you see that the name signed off who purchased this is Gavina Tremonstagrat Tornugava Workov. And all of you are smart enough to identify this as a false name. This is some bullshit that someone wrote down. And Vulad says, and honestly, the person who purchased this was one of the most average women I've ever seen. Straight brown hair, brown eyes, perfectly normal skin, a normal nose, normal smile.
You have ways to find. I mean, I'm sure you have reasons to make sure that people aren't in glamours and that kind of thing, right?
Not what?
In glamours?
In disguise.
In disguise, and using magic, I mean, or does it not matter to you all?
Oh, that does not matter to us. If they can work their way in, they have access to a fence. I am not one to judge or discriminate.
Even assuming this might not be the true form of this person, and I'm going to minor illusion like a face and I'm gonna ask him to like essentially willy it until it looks approximately close to the person he saw.
And he does so, and like he said, it is one of the most generic looking women you've ever seen. Brown hair, brown eyes, like medium brown skin, super hyper normal. And Vulad then points at the receipt again and says, I mean, as long as they've got coin, I don't necessarily mind who I'm selling to. And when you look, you see that the price of this blast disc was 5,000 gold pieces.
Oh, so they didn't even kill anybody and they used 5,000 gold. I mean...
Someone's got the resources to afford that kind of bomb.
Is their name handwritten on there?
What is their name handwritten?
No, was it handwritten on the receipt?
No, it was something that Vulad had written.
Gotcha.
Can you tell us anything else about this person? Anything that might be relevant?
Also, can I insight check him just to see if he's lying?
Go for it. Make an insight check.
Did this person have any strange manner of speaking that you were able to point out? Any kind of accent or?
It's a 6, so it's.
Yeah.
Any kind of accent or turn of phrase that piqued your interest or struck out to you as different?
Vlad thinks on it. Says, I mean, no accent, no turn of phrase. I will say, you know what? Never mind. Not important.
No, it's okay. Go ahead and say it. Anything could be important.
Make another
Enough
persuasion
peaceful.
check for me.
It's a 19.
Vlad,
Oh, sorry, I forgot. That's just a 20 because I can't
just
roll
a
under a
20.
10.
Vlad says, this young lady, the one thing she did say that I did make a little note of, I thought it was a bit odd, she said we as a pronoun a few times. I mean, she said I instead of me and things of that nature, but on occasion, just every once in a while, she did let slip a we every once in a while. When I mentioned that a blast disc would be expensive, she said, oh, don't worry, we can afford it. I have enough money. And it was just a few things like that
So like they were speaking for some kind of group.
A group. She did not bear any dragon marks or organization symbols or let anything slip other than that, but it just struck me as odd.
I'm having a bit of a flashback. Did we meet somebody who said, I could have sworn we had met somebody who had said we multiple times when referencing themselves, like
Is that a changeling thing, maybe?
I can't remember.
Do a lot of changelings reference themselves as a collective? Or is it more of like maybe like it's just a group? It would just be like a typical like, oh, we're a group of people.
You would know it's really not a changeling thing, at least.
It's really, I really am having like deja vu of someone saying we in conversations to us.
I mean, I kept saying we trying to hide, Virtue's identity a lot, but other than that.
Oh no, I remember Logan saying it in a conversation, but maybe I'm imagining it. That's fine.
Maybe our next step is to talk to some changelings. Does anybody have any other questions?
Yeah, Logan, how did you break your mug like that?
This is a good thing for people in the chat right now who might be lingering. You're about to get some deep lore for Logan and his life. It was pretty simple.
Deep lore
this
with
was one of my
Logan.
favorite mugs. If you do not know
True.
me, The Goonies is one of my favorite movies of all time. I've had this mug for many, many years, and a few years ago I dropped it and I broke off the handle. I was sad. I was like, oh, I broke my mug. But one of the core tenets in the Goonies is Goonies never say die, which is what is imprinted on this mug. So when I broke off the handle and I was like, oh, the mug's ruined, I thought, you know what? No. Goonies never say die. So I bought some sandpaper stuff, I sanded off any of the sharp bits, and I salvaged the mug. Therefore, my handle on everything is never say dice. Goonies never say die, never say dice.
Why didn't you just super glue the handle back on?
It was broken into so many pieces. It was
ruined.
Okay.
You could just you should
Make
find
a new
at
handle.
a craft store. Yeah, just get a new handle.
Yeah,
Just
maybe.
Yeah.
wooden doll, what are this called? Like dollies or like the sticks, just cut it off and just be glue that shit on.
Totally.
I
think more people should at least once a day think to themselves, what would Chunk do?
Why would you say that?
He would go.
You would do the truffle shuffle.
I also think it's funny, Logan, how if we say something that and then I look over to your reaction, you'll do a quick smirk and then you'll start drinking water.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never done that before.
There's not heavily
We got another follower, Logan.
I know. Thank you for following Nemester51. I assume you weren't born in 1951. If not,
That'd be crazy, though.
that'd be awesome.
No, they're the
But thanks for
51st
following and
Nemester.
hanging out, Nemester. I know we've been playing for 3.5 hours, so I really have to use the restroom. So I will leave it up to you guys whether we call it now or we keep going.
It's 12:30.
I will say we
Yeah.
make the final conclusion that we need to talk to some changelings. I think is what we need to. Unless anyone disagrees, I think that's what we need to do, and then we just call it for next week.
Yeah, I just don't know. I feel like we is not a necessarily changeling thing.
No,
I'll use
you're
the
right.
restroom really fast and I'll let you guys talk about it.
Yeah, drop some toilet cats in the chat.
I'm just trying to think. I'm so.
If
trying to
anybody
think of
has any
anything
chat
else.
theories, post them in chat. Who do you think the
Yes,
murderer
please.
is?
100%. I know for a fact that somebody said
board.
we.
So let's make everything we
Brainstorm?
know clear, right? So we know they have access to a lot of money. Right?
Yes.
We know that it is a.
And they refer
part
themselves
of a
as MOH.
Yeah.
No, we don't. No, that was the next target. The
Yeah.
next target was going to be MOH.
Yeah, time will pass forth,
Ah.
but we will chat soon. How about a head start? MOH.
Um.
We thought it was a mark of
a mark
Either.
of healing or
Handling.
Mhm.
Hospitality is the other one.
Hospitality. Yeah. And that's what we thought one of the marks, because we thought that could be the next target.
I mean, based off their speed of things, though, I would assume that it has to be to like the same day.
What dragon mark houses have been hit so far?
So far we have House
Orion.
Arash, which is the House of Finding, House the Orion, which is Passage, and House Leandar, which is Storm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you said that there was MOH, which could be a mark of hospitality or mark of healing.
Yeah, and I don't know if they came in, right? They came in to put down. You would assume they would just outright kill them without doing a bomb, if they wanted
I
to.
think
The driver, rather. So I think that could have been.
I think that it may have killed two birds with one stone thing, because someone knew enough to take the form of Cornelius. So they knew that you all would be investigating. So they were thinking, oh, they're investigating. We can get rid of the driver and the people investigating the crime at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming that means that they haven't killed anybody yet.
Also, important thing to note is who would have known that you all were investigating? Who would have had access to the information that you all were hired to find out who is doing these?
Calf.
I mean, the Sharn Watch.
Which already not trustworthy.
True.
That's,
Wait, why
that's
not?
I mean, anybody who's able to transform is able to transform into like an officer or anything of that sort to find out that information, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they're leaving notes, they might be kind of showboaty. So they
We
might
all
want to
do
see the
agree
aftermath.
that it's like a group of people, though, right? It's not
I
just
don't-
one person.
I don't
It's
know. I don't know if
Bukin
it's-
said in chat if there was like a hive mind or like a collective consciousness. Is there anything that we know in Sharn that has anything to do with hive minds?
None of you do. However, Oleg, you get a shiver, a chill down your spine when talk of hive minds and collective consciousnesses is brought up. You feel an itch behind your ear.
Feel it in your beard tentacles.
In your beard tentacles.
Yeah. I don't say
Gross.
anything about it. I just kind of scratch at the ear.
Something I feel that we may need to return to is possible motives. Who is gaining anything from the deaths of these particular figures? Is it just a vendetta against Dragonmark houses in general? I mean, I feel like you'd see a more destruction, like big bombs planted at big events, but these particular members of these houses were targeted, and I think one of the things we need to figure out before
What makes them connected?
the case, yes, what connects them. I mean,
What do we know about the victims so far?
Leandar and Katarine Orion were meeting, and the day they both died, and I mean, it seems that they were just discussing in their normal business things, but there has to be something which connects all these people.
Well, another question is, so we know that when they went up to meet, that they both separated and they were fine. Like after the meeting, they were seen exiting and being fine. But sometime after the meeting, the Ting Fei was killed, and while in the cart or the sky coach, she was also killed, right? Because they both entered the sky coach fine and was frozen from the poison and killed in the sky coach, we assume, right? Or did we assume that she came in while being dead? We never really did. We ever find out that sequence of events?
IDK, did we?
I don't remember.
Because I feel like I know that we had said that the it was definitely not after they had crashed based off of the blood
Yeah.
stains.
It seemed that she had been killed, but before she hit the ground. Logan, remind me, she was killed by blunt force?
Correct.
But a different blunt force than the other one.
Then Tingfei de Landar?
Yes. I remember that being distinctively different.
And we
Blunt
couldn't-
force, like from the crash.
couldn't get anything out of Barden
We knew-
Finch, right? Because he was...
The only thing he
Or
said, if I remember correctly, was that he could have sworn she was alive in the cart or in the sky coach, and that he went into the sky coach and couldn't move. That's pretty much all he said, right?
Okay.
You saw Vukin's comment too.
I'm just doing excessively now.
Okay, so we've got somebody with access to enough money to buy the what's it called? The exploding disc.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We've got somebody with the know-how to create, or again, enough money to buy this particular kind of poison, and with some method of teleportation or flight to be able to stealthily make it into Tingfei de Leondar's office on a heavily guarded airship and apparently kill him pretty violently without raising the alarm.
I'm
Well, if
assuming
we're dealing with a shapeshifter, they may have been able to do that pretty simply.
I
What do
don't
we
know
know
that-
about the victims' pastimes? Like, what did they do? What were they about besides being Dragonmark families? Do I know anything about what, like, do I know their dossier?
I know. What's one of them? In Vegas, the guy from House Thrash, he owned a Dragon Shard mine. Other than that,
Yeah. And
Do we know
Vegas
what kind
was
of people
not
worked in the
from
mine?
Sharn. The mine was way out in the Shadow Marches. You have no idea anything about it.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy was in Vegas Torn. Prior to his death, he had a meeting with someone named Orum. No, the Orum. Who specialize in collecting artifacts.
That was the group that one lady who was the guest of like the play financier from our last case. Is there a connection to the Arum from either of the other two that we know about?
Whoever would potentially be in tune with that kind of thing, you can make a history check to find out.
find out what exactly.
19?
If any of the victims or any people involved are involved with the Arum, the organization.
22.
19.
I don't know if I'm actually involved.
It
in
was. We found some correspondence in Leringdar's office with Kina Button, who was a member of the Copper Concord, which is a branch of the Arum.
that.
Like,
Varian, you had a 22?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. I need to do a thing to make this accurate. If everyone wants to check the Twitch chat. If it'll work for me. There
Oh,
we go.
redeem flashback.
Nice. Varian. Describe to me an experience or a past experience with Dr. Klein Cloveholler, the gnome alchemy professor at Moorgrave University.
Okay. Imagine, like, I don't know, maybe I probably went to Moorgrave for my undergrad as well. So imagine, as you will, like freshman or sophomore year of Varian, and I don't know, like Alchemy 101, sitting in like a big ass lecture hall where I imagine like a very stuffy little gnome in like tweed robes sits at the front and just and yes, then you add the eye of a snake, and that changes the alchemical properties to allow you to change lead into one of the more precious metals. And I'm just like furiously scribbling and whatnot. And yes, as of course is you'll need all of these precepts if you're to go anywhere in the world of alchemy. As you know, I created a proprietary formula some years ago with my skills. Now, trust that it will take you many, many years, if not a lifetime, to achieve that level of skill. But, you know, keep your noses to the grindstone, and perhaps one day you'll be there. And I'm just like, grindstone?
What a blowhard.
Yes, so you have, and as a divination wizard, you experience that memory as if it were yesterday. You live it in this moment. And one of the things you remember, going up to Cloveholler after class to ask a question regarding alchemy.
Oh, I 100% went up to
You were
him
one of
after
those
class
kids.
to ask questions.
And one of the things you explicitly remember as you're sort of reliving this memory is that he wore a copper ring on each finger, which is a sign of membership for the Copper Concord in the Aurum.
Interesting.
Every Concord in the Aurum, whether it's copper, silver, gold, platinum, they wear a ring made of that material on each finger. And Dr. Klein Cloveholler seemed to have been a member of the Copper Concord.
I'm remembering something. Cloveholler, the alchemist, I took a class of his a few years back. He's a member of the Copper Concord of the Aurum. Perhaps that might be a good place to start looking.
You invented the
More-
Kyanite oil, right?
Yes, the Kyanite oil. Which, Logan, remind me, how hard is this stuff to make?
The Kyanite oil?
Mm.
That you are not sure. The research of it after he invented it was like snuffed away by the university and everyone else, so you don't know of its components or anything.
But I don't know anything about the relative difficulty of how to make it.
I forgot, you did use detect poison, which identifies the poison of it, or how it
did?
like identifies the poison.
Racial spells.
So make
We also have a sample of it.
yeah. So make an Arcana check because I know that's your thing.
Okay.
Oh, like side project is about to activate. I completely forgot about that. I have a
Okay.
sample of that shit.
I'm going to... Fuck it. I'm gonna use my other portent roll to give me a nat 10 on that, which will rack up
A million.
to an 18.
18. From what you were able to identify, the components of the oil were not hard to come by. It's just the process is extremely difficult.
Okay.
And so it would take someone pretty skilled to make it. It doesn't necessarily take a lot of like money and resources to make. It just takes a skilled person to make it.
There aren't that many alchemists I know of with the skill and the patience to make this kind of oil. So either someone in the city made it, or they bought it from an outside source. But there's got to be some sort of trail. Perhaps we should pay a visit to my old professor.
Sounds like a lead.
Didn't
does.
we? I mean, that sounds good, but doesn't he also just sell it to the Boromar clan? I thought that's what we have heard, right?
Did we hear that he sold it to the Boromar clan?
Or that the Boromar clan had a connection to it? I thought.
I think that was one of the deductions that Spike had made, was that a poison of this caliber, unless made, would pretty much only be able to be bought from someone like the Boromar clan, who deals with smuggling and things like that.
Never mind then. Yeah.
Okay, perhaps you could ask Vlad real quick. Is he still there?
I assume you guys have like left to go have this
Yes.
long discussion and then come back. He would still be there, yeah. And what do you ask him?
Fuck it, I'm just gonna be direct. Kleinite oil, do you sell it?
Make a persuasion check, Varian. Pretty please.
Cool. Ooh, alright, a 19.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, we sell all sorts of oils and poisons and things. I'm sure.
Particularly Kleinite oil.
Quite possibly. I'd have to go check. It rings a bell. And
Well,
you have a high enough passive insight that you can see that he's just playing coy. Like, he knows what you're talking about.
Why don't you go check that?
I'm gonna assume that the same person probably bought the Kleinite oil from you as well.
Flips through his
I
receipts.
can't imagine there's that many people buying both.
Says, I have actually not had a purchase for this oil in quite a very long time. No,
Oh,
not the same
okay.
person.
Good to know.
Would anybody else in the city be selling it? Someone else in the Boromar?
There are a few other fences around the city, unless you plan on visiting them all. I don't know of anyone else.
What about one of your rivals? It seems, not to put too fine a point on it, but somewhat out of the intellectual reach of the Dask.
I'm going to assume though then they would just have a pseudonym, right? I mean, we would just get there and they'd say Bilby Bobbly bought the oil.
Likely, but you see that Vlad sort of gives like a knowing nod and says, I'm certain that no one besides the Boromar clan is dealing out such poisons.
Of course. So we have to visit the Boromar clan, I guess, right? I mean, sounds like the next logical step.
Well, why don't we just go visit Alira herself?
You're gonna go visit the Sharn counselor. There's some
That might be easier said than done, Spike.
Well, everywhere we go, the Sharn watch is there. Someone within the Boromar clan has made the poison and has enough money to buy a bomb. Possibly. So why don't we just go talk to the head himself?
Do they have some kind of wait list for this kind of thing? I'm assuming so. It's not probably a thing you can just walk up and say, "Hey, I want to talk to you." You know.
that's correct. She's a counselor. She's quite busy.
Maybe I can use my connections in the press to get us in to have a talk with her, but I'm not sure about it. I'll see. Regardless, we'll have to wait until tomorrow.
Yes, good luck with that. Is there anything else I can help you all with?
maybe we can end the session. I think that.
Well, that's such a strange turn of phrase, but sure, you may leave.
Okay.
Vlad,
I'm gonna give Vlad a tip of 10 gold pieces.
what is
Tip
this? A
him?
tip?
I'm gonna tip Vlad 10 gold pieces.
It's Vlad.
Vlad.
Fine. And Vlad puts away the 10 gold. Do you leave the club? Or do you
Yeah.
just find somewhere to sit quietly in the club?
I would assume that we'd leave the club at this point, unless there is like a private room that we could talk things over. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of assuming we'd leave.
Yeah, so you emerge from the club. It's like 6 p.m. at this point. The line outside is getting longer. Where would you like to do anything else in this day, or wait until the following day, or?
Well, I know I need to go.
You have a date.
Yeah, I need to go visit Brawl.
I'm probably gonna go talk to my professor.
I will probably accompany you to make sure that nothing goes wrong when talking to your professor.
Hi,
I
this
would,
is my burly gun-laden friend.
I would go talk to the Sharn Inquisitive office and see if I could get us a meeting for tomorrow with the Clan Boromir head or whatever.
Okay.
I'll find love.
See what she's
Yeah,
accomplished.
sure,
go
try,
hang out with
buddy.
your girlfriend.
All right, and then do you all just want to reconvene the following morning then?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So you all go about that stuff. Oh gosh, I really want to do your thing now, Xavier, because
We could do it now. I'm down.
it's just it's like the last thing that would happen chronologically, but I want to do it now so bad.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's not. It's 1 o'clock. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My body is like.
12:54. We got 6 minutes.
No. My body's doing the thing like, hey, this session should have ended like an hour ago.
What?
We don't usually do more than 3-hour sessions or 2.5-hour sessions.
Travis is just old. That's okay.
Travis has work in the morning. I don't know.
So does
you
Logan.
gotta pound some night espresso.
Well, to be fair, it's not even midnight yet where Logan is.
That's fair. I'll make it super fast. Spike, you make your way over to Cog's Gate, Daisy Lane, 14G. And you realize it is an entire tower portion of storage units. You pass by a row of storage units that are all House Kundarak protected. There are enforcers standing outside. You see the house logo on the outside, but you still have a few more levels to go. You keep walking until eventually, at the designated time, you see your half-orc, eye-patch friend, Brawl, standing out there. He says, "Thanks for being here, man. Long story short, there was someone who owed some money, a gambler over in Dragon's Eye. It was a whole thing. I tracked him down. I turned him over. All well and good. And they told me to take whatever I needed from his storage unit as payment. This guy had plenty of stuff stored away, probably from his family. But there was something here that I thought... It just had Spike written all over it. And Brawl, his massive form, he lifts up the shutter of this storage unit and reveals just a plethora of boxes and crates, just a maze in this chamber. And he leads you through to a back corner where there is a linen tarp draped over something. He walks over, says, "I figured this would be something right up your alley, and like I told the gargoyle, you'll owe me a favor. Does that seem fair?"
Sounds good to me, bro. Now, what you hiding there?
He rips off this cloth tarp and reveals a dark iron frame, sort of oblong and thin, that seems to have 2 handles at one end, and then at either end of this oblong frame are these glass discs almost about 1.5 to 2 feet across. You see that in the center of this large iron dark frame seems to be a cushioned seat. He says, "Take a seat right there. There's a large dragon shard in the center, a few others around. Just put your hand on it and just make it turn on."
All right.
So
All
you
right. Hop on top of it.
You flip your duster back, you sit down in this cushioned seat, put your hand on the gem in the middle of this like iron interface, and these glass discs on either side of this whir up with this deep red-orange energy, and the entire thing hums. It almost vibrates this entire storage unit, and it, almost similar to a sky coach, it utilizes this manifest zone of energy, and it just vibrates. The glass disc turn horizontal, and the entire thing hovers about 1/2 foot to 1 foot off the ground.
I start floating up, and I'm like, "Oh my god, bro, what is this thing?"
If you touch that button there, it goes faster. That one breaks. If you touch this one down here with your foot, it takes a sharp turn. If you touch this one here with your left foot, it actually gives a force on the ground. It launches you up into the air. If you just give it a test drive around the district, you'll see what I mean.
Start giving it a ride. I said, "Bro, you done gave the Iron Cowboy an iron horse. You gave me my steed. You know, there's a saying, a cowboy is a man with guts and a horse. Bro, you have made me a cowboy. I swear I could kiss you right now on the cheek."
He leans forward. You give him a cold metal kiss on either cheek.
Kind of a clank.
Yeah, kung kung. Grabbing the handles on either side of this arcane hover motorcycle, it roars to life. You peel out of this storage unit and drive yourself around the warehouse district of Cogsgate, doing laps and laps and laps.
That's so rad.
I gotta find a name for you. A name for my new steed.
I'm a cowboy on the steel
steel horse.
ride.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll end. Spike getting arcane hover bike.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Oh my god.
And you discover, and I'll send you more specific details later, but whenever you're done driving around, which might take a while, you found it in sort of this standby state. When you dismount it, you can pick up sort of the metal iron frame of it, and it'll sort of collapse in on itself to longbow size to put on your back.
Ooh, nice.
That's dope.
That's pretty good.
And so, then the rest of you go about your own individual investigative things, and we will pick up there next time.
Hell yeah.
Good stuff.
Woo. Man, that's a good feeling to let you guys just sit and like brainstorm and come like dig through your notes, like, ooh.
I wish I had been here for all of the information so I could actually let like Charlie Day make a diagram. They're coming together.
Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah, I kept looking through because I'm just like,
I really.
getting like deeper and deeper in this thing, and at one point I was like, oh wait, we're still looking.
Shout
for
out to Bukin for watching this entire stream.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel.
Yes, thank you for coming. I've been watching a lot of Criminal Minds, so I'm just like, what would Spencer Reed do?
I love it, Spencer.
He
like,
would
that's-
quote some random philosopher and then carry a revolver.
Yeah, and that's kind of
I
like
guess.
one of the reasons why I brought up like, wanted to re-clarify the House Tarkana thing, because like the last session you're like, oh, they're all dragon marked houses, that must be something that, you know, House Tarkana and stuff, and then this session hadn't been brought up at all, and I was like, okay, I don't want them to forget all the stuff that they've been brainstorming. There's so much stuff.
Beautiful. Good work, everyone. We haven't solved it yet, but we'll get there eventually.
We'll get
I
there.
feel
Who
as
knows?
though-
Maybe when this reporter fellow you've been adventuring with decides to leave, maybe a one
Oh.
Daniel Buchan may chime in as a helpful hand as an investigator.
Logan's like, yeah, Todd, stop playing.
Todd,
we want
get out of
new
here.
blood.
No, I'm just kidding.
Classic.
Yeah, we're just gonna. It's gonna be one of those things where, like, in between seasons, a character gets written off a show, and the others just like find out about their death through like a newspaper.
They're like, oh shit.
Oh
he
yeah,
died.
it's like in Criminal Minds where they're like, oh yeah, Gideon, he just got
Oh yeah,
capped.
fuck that shit.
Yeah, and they couldn't get Mandy Patinkin back, so they never showed the body.
It's
Part
like,
of
oh, he's
me,
dead.
part of me really just wants, it kind of wishes that Alan, you had just picked up Cornelius, and we just started doing like, we just start acting like nothing changed at all.
And
same
Alan
thing with, like,
Cornelius would be
Jacob.
so weird. It would be so different.
And Jacob leaves, and Buchan just comes in, and then
Please,
I'm a warlock.
No, I was talking to Austin. Austin's like, I sure hope that Cornelius didn't kill that guy using my
That
character.
I would
I
never.
was like, oh no.
I
Oh,
would.
jeez.
That'd be real funny though.
That would be real funny. That'd be shitty. That'd be so shitty.
That'd be awesome. I think that'd be
so,
hilarious. Oh,
Yes. Thank you for everyone who hung out, for continuing to hang out. It has been a blast. It's so much fun. As normal,
Truly.
we will continue being here next Monday, provided everything falls in place, to continue this investigation. We'll get some more deep lore from our characters then, because everyone's going on their own thing, so I think it'll be fun to explore more of their characters. Sort of side quest episode in a way. Continue saving up those tings to make some shit happen. Let's see.
Follow us all on social media.
Yes, follow us all on social media. I'm at NeverSayDice. Xavier's at Xylo Plays. Alan's at something probably.
Alan is Big Gangsta Alan 977.
That's not true at all.
My name is the J Todd on literally everything, because I'm the only one. There's never ever been another J Todd,
I'm
and there
sure.
never
my
will be.
handle is PewDiePie on YouTube. So go ahead and
Yeah.
follow that.
You look a bit different. It's just the camera. Use a different camera
Yeah.
for this.
The camera has some
That's
great
actually
brain to
Swedish.
Um,
Come check out
Yeah.
Xylo Plays streams. We're gonna stream some fun stuff later.
yes.
Meow.
Rachel, that's just rude.
What did Rachel say?
She said exclamation point redeem TPK.
Oh,
I'll make that a thing. We'll see.
wow.
As you,
start shelling out to the masses.
I didn't explain it too much at the beginning, but if you see the bar up at the front, I'm trying to reach up to 50 party members to get me to affiliate, so that way we can get some more cool things on the stream. Some
If
things.
you get 100,000 tings, Logan will drive to one of our houses and shoot us in the head.
What the fuck?
Oh no!
That's not true.
At least Logan will finally spend time with us.
Shut the fuck
Aw.
up. At some point, look out for some future streams where I will, we'll sit down and make some D&D characters together, make a D&D dungeon, big encounter, all sorts of stuff.
I saw
fuck,
that
Carson?
somebody did a stream where they just like had people on and just talked about D&D and different things, and I think that could be a fun show you could do, Logan, where you just talk to your friends about D&D.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the
Like,
just
talk about our-
chatting
Yeah,
category.
we
just
can do
we just
a
talk about D&D.
Talks Machina / short rest with all of
Yes.
you guys to talk about like your characters and the campaign and anything else D&D related.
That would be really fun.
It'd be a lot of fun. Check out my DM's Guild stuff. It's under my name. Most recent one, Song of Spirits In. Maybe we'll do a spooky Halloween one-shot in place of an Eberron session, or just in general in the near future. It'll be lots of fun.
If you thought the new layout was cool and you think that reroll is cool, buy reroll
Buy some freaking
and tell them that Logan Smith sent you.
maybe they'll sponsor.
Get us that sweet sponsorship.
It's a very
Xavier,
cool app.
what is your next thing? your next stream that you want to boost up?
Drunk Genshin Impact.
Oh god, that was gonna be good. Next thing we're gonna do is I don't want to commit on
You
stream.
don't commit.
Next thing that's gonna happen is someday he's gonna stream again.
Well, we're gonna do Drunk Genshin Impact or maybe
on the lookout.
Smash Bros.
And
Monster Prom. True.
We're gonna do Monster Prom soon.
Xavier and I are gonna play Monster Prom, and Rachel too if she wants to play.
Not even remotely understanding what Monster Prom is, but
Well, watch the stream to find out.
There you go.
I
Ever
will.
seen Monsters Inc?
Yes.
Yeah, you make them date.
But Xavier will be producing content. He's not gonna commit to what kind of content, but it will exist.
It's an Otome dating sim with
It is.
Sully and Mike Wazowski.
All right. I hate what
That-
Carson's saying. So I
Get
think that
Raz,
is
let's do that.
enough.
Yeah,
I
think
hate a
I've-
lot of things.
I
that
think
Carson
I've
says.
lost my talking privileges.
I think Travis is dying. He took off his glasses. That's a pretty. That's a
to
throw it in
show
the
that
towel.
time has regressed.
Thank you all for tuning in. See us next week. See us all streaming stuff later on. It's gonna be a blast. Follow us on social media, all that good stuff. We will hopefully see you all next week. Good night.
And here's the outro.
Here's
the
Sharn,
outro.
Sharn, Sharn, Sharn.